Totally. Kind of like the show, but you just another level.
Yeah.
Just on another level. The Chuck and Bo Show on demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Man, when I got home from work, you wouldn't believe this. My wife said, I heard you call the show this morning. So whoever that is, I imagine it's a co-worker of hers. If you happen to be listening right now, let's just keep this between us, you know.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're just talking. You're just talking.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Cheats, steals.
He's a real talk show host.
Live from the Warfield Distillery Studios, Idaho's most awarded distillery.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Let it rip.
Let it go.
If you're a Hawk fan, be a Hawk fan.
Hey, Bo, you're wrong.
Come in at your own risk. Nobody's safe in here.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I was reading about this fight between the Cowboys and the Saints at training camp yesterday. That's how you know that you're really into the heart of training camp, is when a fight breaks out. I didn't know this. Those of you who are WWE fans may know this, that the tight end for the Saints is the son of WWE Hall of Famer Scott Steiner. Now, their real last name's Rex Steiner. And he got in a big fight yesterday with some of the Cowboys players, and he whips out a little WWE move. He body slams a guy down there on the turf, and then it just turns into a full-scale brawl. In fact, the ESPN story called it a WWE-style brawl. Now, that's when you know football season's underway right there.
It's because ESPN's into the WWE.
I know that.
now.
I know that. But it's also, I mean, Scott Steiner is a big star, and his son, you know, employed a few of those wrestling moves right out there on the field.
Wrestling, I know this is not where you're going, but wrestling's one of those things that I watched as a little bit as a kid, but I don't follow at all now, and I know it's the most viewed sport there is on television. I know that, but I don't know anything about it, and I don't pay any attention to it. And I wonder if I and I don't have FOMO, but I wonder if, like, when you said that about Hall of Famer, I'm like, how do you know that?
I
You're
keep
well-read.
up. I mean, as I've told you, I am a student of pop culture.
Yeah,
I think, Bo, I'm just going to tell you, you're in the minority of not knowing who Scott Steiner is. I'm just going to break that to you.
I'm sure that's true, and therefore I don't know. I don't know how to feel about myself about that.
I think you should probably feel okay.
I just thought it was an interesting story. Maybe I'm the only one.
No. I'm not.
No, the fight's absolutely interesting.
It's popular, and I know we weren't going WWE. That's just where I went with it. But yes, training camp. We can go either way. But let's go back to training camp. It is not unusual to have a fight. It is unusual for it to turn into a match like that or a move like that. So what did everybody do?
Well, they fought, and then they broke it up, and they continued with practice.
But they had a highlight. You don't always have a highlight in a fight. It's like a lot of shove-it, and somebody throws some punches into a face mask, and people break it up. But that was a highlight.
It was the WWE angle.
Yes.
I don't know if, like, you know, this had just been, you know, Joe tight end, for example, if he'd been involved in it. And because the Cowboy, the cornerback for the Cowboys was an obscure player. And fights happen routinely. Now, you know, and it's not the first time that, you know, guys have grabbed one another's helmets and, you know, it's hot and they do stuff like that. I think it was the WWE angle that turned it into
unusual.
a big story.
You're right.
I
just watched the video. That the Cowboys cornerback, he
punched him.
He picked the wrong fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Can I see the video?
The Cowboys guy, the
Where
cornerback, had two hands on the helmet pulling him. And then the wrestling son had like four guys on him. So
the
wrestling son.
Son of wrestling.
You don't know
son of
who
the
it is
wrestler.
either. Where is the
he had like
highlight?
four guys on him. He
You
just
guys call
grabbed him
yourself
and
sports
chucked
fans,
him.
and you don't even know who
Exactly.
Scott Steiner is.
I mean,
for
that's
crying
what I
out
said.
loud.
I don't know whether I should be embarrassed, but I am. Is this on ESPN.com?
Yes.
Oh, I see it there.
It's all over
He
Twitter.
he had the goatee, right?
Yeah,
Like-
well, I don't know if they were actually brothers, but on TV they were brothers. They were big Michigan men. You know, they're Michigan men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Scott Steiner, yeah, he's got some like chainmail on.
Yeah.
Is that his thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Michigan men.
Michigan.
What is it?
You guys are trying to make me feel like a rube.
No,
I think you're
no.
feeling like that on your own. I'm being honest that I don't know who he is.
I just gave you
I'm watching this.
what I know about Scott Steiner.
I
Is
got
that he
you.
has,
But it's
OT.
not beneath me.
No.
Let me just explain to you. It's not beneath me.
No, not at
I'm
all.
watching the fight.
Chuck, you're a product of Memphis.
There it
wrestling.
goes. There it is. That's a finishing move.
It is a finishing move.
Except he didn't get on top of him for the 3 count. That is see, the dude that takes his helmet off in a fight is an idiot.
In a football fight,
Yes.
you're right.
Yes.
I mean, that's your armor.
Yes.
And that was somebody took their helmet off like they were ready to go,
Yeah, bad move.
like a catcher chasing a foul ball.
That's a guy who's probably going to get cut because, you look at that as a GM and a coach, and you're like, oh, that guy's probably pretty dumb. We don't need him.
Is that the football equivalent of like, the guy down the street that's going to get in a fight, and the first thing he does is take his shirt off? He like peels his shirt off. Oh, let's go, man. And maybe in football, that's the equivalent of taking your shirt off.
Let's talk about fights for a second because we're going to see them.
Because we're
going
a
to see
bunch
'em.
of fighters in
Well,
here.
because of social media, you see fights a lot on social media. I mean, not like every day, but I guess you could. But I notice them at games or NFL games. That's what I'll get in my feed.
There was one at Wrigley.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Did you see the guy that was
last
sitting
night.
in the stands and he covered his head up, and this dude's just pounding on his
wailing on him.
arms that are over the guy's face, and finally they get the dude away from him, and the guy's just sitting there like, "Can I go back to watching the game?" Or he didn't know what to do.
He was bloodied up pretty good. I saw a close-up shot of him, man. He was bloodied up pretty good. Some of those blows landed.
But normally when I see these,
Some of them did.
you could be. We need you to be ringside for a
Telling
fight.
you.
You could judge it.
You
Could be a judge in WWE
See,
or whatever.
I've
they call
heard
it.
2 different stories on that. The initial reaction was, wow, the White Sox fans are out of control. The Southsiders, I mean, they just came came to the North Side looking for a fight. But then I also read some accounts where it's, maybe that guy had it coming. Maybe that guy had it coming.
Usually it starts with a lot of yapping.
Well, they were throwing beer and all that stuff
That's
too.
it.
You
level.
get a beer thrown on you, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's going to get you going. But I was trying to determine, because look, here's the first thing I noticed: nobody was coming to this guy's defense. None of the ushers,
that's
none
true.
of his
That's
friends. Now, granted, this guy was out of control. This Sox fan was out of control. I wouldn't have wanted a
looked
piece
like a
of him
little
either.
guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted a piece of
like
him either.
a lightweight,
Wiry guy.
Yeah.
Middleweight champion.
Yes.
And
It wasn't the first time he'd
no,
thrown a
it
punch.
was not the first time he'd fought. And I'm going to guess a lot of those Northsiders living over there by Northwestern, they probably talk a lot, but they don't fight a lot. The guys on the South Side fight a lot. And if you're going to run your mouth, you need to know how to fight. And my guess would be some of those guys ran their mouths without knowing how to fight. And these dudes knew how to fight. That was my take. And that they just bit off a little more than they could chew.
When I watch these fights, what I notice is how they fight. And a lot of times
It's usually bad.
It's partial like punches and running. It's like I try to, like, if Bart and I were fighting here in the middle of the room, it's like I try to get my shot in on him, and then I like run away, and
then I come back for more.
Generally, like, people are getting involved and starting. Then they're looking for a cheap shot.
Yeah.
Then they like try to get
lots
that
of
in,
cheap shots.
and then they're running away. It's like, how do you protect yourself in an actual fight? And so the way that they look to be like the natural instinct, I think this is a natural instinct to protect yourself, is to try to swing and then retreat so they can't catch you. But you've seen this common this common thread of fighting.
It happens in sports fights all the time, like baseball fights. Notorious for that type of stuff. Like a guy will come in hot, ready to swing, and then like he'll swing, and then he'll like start backing up immediately.
How about the fights on the golf course we see on social media?
Those
Have you see those?
Those
Have
are
you
all,
seen them?
Yes, I've seen them.
When you mention
Guys in their 50s out there.
Yes.
And
And generally, one guy's too
Yeah.
drunk to
Yes.
fight.
When you mentioned the guy taking your shirt off, I thought of one of those golf fights. The I don't know if you've seen it. If not, I'll have to show it to y'all. But the guy who starts asking these other guys if they want to see God today.
See God. You want to see God? Let me take me.
It's exceptional.
Well, I saw one where this guy picked a fight he shouldn't have picked, right? And so the guy let him know that he picked a fight he shouldn't have picked. And I think he'd given him warning, like, you just need to get out of here. And he didn't. And so he basically hit the guy a few times until he'd gone all the way down off the side of the fairway and into the retaining pond. Like, the guy basically had rolled into the pond.
It's
It's just like, it's funny for a second, and then in the other moment, you're like, wow, what's wrong with America? I mean, look at what's wrong with humanity.
when
What
you
are we
watch
doing
these
here?
golf course fights with these middle-aged guys, sometimes the punch lands, sometimes it doesn't. But at some point, gravity and leverage is going to take over because somebody's going to fall. Somebody's going to lose their balance. Somebody's they're going to get going down the hill. They can't stop. They start rolling. It's like there are physical limitations. You're not light on your feet.
Something that clearly wasn't thought about ahead of time.
Yes.
And it's not generally the most athletic people you've ever seen.
And plus, it's hard to be athletic when you've had about 8 beers.
Yes.
And that always, alcohol always seems to be
And
a
that
factor
leads
too.
to the courage, the liquid
Yes,
courage,
that's right.
and the picking of fights.
You want a piece of me? You want some of this?
You want some of it? Yeah. You want to hit into me?
You
Okay.
want to see
Okay.
God?
Yeah.
I've got it here. I'll play it for you guys.
That's awesome.
But we have entered that zone in training camp, and the Razorbacks started practice in the morning now this week. So they had
cooler.
their first morning practice. And,
Theoretically.
it was cooler yesterday morning.
It was
when we
for
were
a
doing
while.
the show. At
It
First
was,
Security.
yes.
It heated up about 9:00, but it was a great morning. But now they're into morning practices, and they've switched up the routine a little bit, and here we go. And Bart's got a top 25 for us today.
He has his own top 25. Bart's
Hot off the presses.
Bart's
Had some
top
debate
25.
yesterday about the top 25. By the way, I was on a show yesterday, and I was asked.
Okay.
Not locally.
Wow.
Nobody would do that. And I was asked if Arkansas was a sleeping giant, and they used Walmart as the example. If they could get Walmart money, is Arkansas a sleeping giant? Discuss among yourselves. 877-377-6963. Well, we can talk about it.
Can be.
What's today? Wednesday?
It is.
It is. Weeks
Hump day.
flying by. Hump day.
It is.
You know what day it is? It's hump day.
Hump day. There we go. When's the WWE on?
I don't know.
Come
have
on.
no
When
I,
is it?
I honestly don't know. I am not a regular viewer, but I did
You're aware.
find that story interesting.
Oh, yeah.
We got
I-
got
You
texts
read the
about
story.
it.
We've gotten texts.
yeah.
That's popular.
I
I'm
know
not
these
saying it's
people.
not.
I know.
I know these people, and I know my people.
I know
Dave.
our people now.
You guys need to get in the game. I know my people. I know these people. All right, 877-377-6963. It's
You
our
people.
WWE
We're
segment
wrestling
coming up.
people.
We do it every year, once a year at this time, the first training camp fight. We talk WWE. Get in with your, your thoughts.
Favorite wrestler.
You're-
Who's
I
your
like
favorite
old
wrestler?
style.
Favorite
I like the
wrestler.
old style wrestling. This
Yeah.
new stuff. I like the old.
Ultimate Warrior, baby.
Back when the blood was real.
The Chuck and Bo Show, where the blood is always real.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you see, let's just see where this goes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Still searching for the perfect summer getaway? Mountain Home, Arkansas might just be your answer. Wake up in the Ozark Hills. Hit the White River at sunrise. World-class fishing, hiking, trails, kayaking, and when the sun goes down, it's the kind of quiet you forgot existed. 2 lakes, 1 great town. All right here in the Arkansas Ozarks. Check it out at enjoymountainhome.com. Mountain Home, Arkansas, where the outdoors is a way of life.
Hey, when it comes to pizza, nobody does it like Gusano's. Chicago style since 2004. Don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. You can get $1 off drafts, wells, and house wine. Plus, their happiest hour from 5 to 6 features $1.50 domestic drafts. And exciting news, a second Fayetteville location is coming in late August, right on the corner of Joyce and College. Gusano's Pizza in Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, Texarkana, and Joplin. Warfield American Single Malt Whiskey starts with 100% local Idaho barley, distilled through Scottish copper pot stills, and aged in Idaho's mountain climate, where the elevation and temperature swings create a depth of flavor you won't find anywhere else. Now Arkansas owned, Warfield is crafting something genuinely different. American Single Malt with real roots and real craft behind it. Find it at select spirits retailers nationwide or visit drinkwarfield.com. For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Just so you know, and we've talked about this from day one on the show, nobody's safe in here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
In a world full of shortcuts, one whiskey refused. 100% local Idaho barley, aged in Idaho's mountain climate. For complexity you can taste, a spirit that answers to the land and no one else. This is not just whiskey. This is a declaration. Warfield American Single Malt Whiskey from Idaho's most awarded distillery. Set the standard. Available at select spirits retailers nationwide. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older.
Summer in Arkansas means long days outside.
Whether you're headed to the lake, playing 18, or firing up the grill with friends, summer in Arkansas keeps you moving.
And with all those summer activities, you're going to need a beer that keeps up.
And that's where Yuengling Flight comes in. Just 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, brewed for people who like to stay active and still enjoy a great tasting beer.
Make Yuengling Flight part of your summer plan.
Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer.
DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly. Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
That is absurd to me and anybody who has a brain. Like anybody with any active brain cells at all. like what are you?
I have brain cells, but they're not always active.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We are really interesting people, as a people. Why don't we argue for a little while about why Joe Lunardi dropped Arkansas from 3 to 4?
What's his problem?
On the seed line of the NCAA tournament next year. Well, why don't we get a hold of him and ask him what's wrong with him?
Hey, he's not careful. He's going to end up like Jerry Palm.
Did Cal turn down an interview?
Look at what happened to Jerry Palm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Exhibit A.
If he's
Jerry
not careful.
Palm
That's Exhibit A.
happened to Jerry Palm.
But what I'm saying is that we played a part.
You know what?
We played a role.
I've thought about this a little bit with Jerry Palm.
Yeah.
And do you want me to play it before I say what I'm going to say about Jerry Palm?
If this involves an olive branch of any sort,
No,
Chuck's not interested.
I'm out.
it actually doesn't.
Okay.
I'll give you part of my point now.
All right.
We brought Jerry Palm on, okay, to talk about Arkansas. And this is Cal's first year, and they had a rough start. They started, 0-5 in conference play. And they turned it around, and they were playing well, and they're getting down to the end. And this is a Sweet 16 team, okay? And we're watching these guys, and we're like, all right, where are they going to be in the tournament? Where are they, are they going to make it? What this kind of conversation. We bring Jerry Palm on to talk about Arkansas, and here's how it went.
I've been doing this 30 years, and your conference record doesn't matter. It's not criteria. It's not even on the team sheet. They don't care how you did in your league. The games, your conference games are on your team sheet. Arkansas just doesn't have a good record against better teams. They're strength of schedule is always a factor. So it's like 10-12 against the top 3 quadrants. And the committee doesn't look at that number specifically, but if you're below 500 against the top 3 quadrants, there's probably a reason, and that reason is usually you're not good enough. So, but no, in fact, I haven't really studied that. I just think that the strength of the league is helping the bubble teams because your strength of schedule is still pretty good. It makes it difficult to be specific about anything. How you perform in the conference specifically, your conference record, your conference standing, that's not relevant. Your conference games matter because all your games matter, but they all matter equally. Conference games don't get any special weight. I've been doing this 30 years.
So we brought him on to talk about Arkansas.
Except I know why Joe Lenardi's the man.
Yeah, that's what Chuck said at the end. And we were talking about how many games they had won lately. I don't remember exactly. Let's say they won like 8 of their last 10.
They ended up going to the Sweet 16.
Where they were in the SEC. And it was just a disaster. It was a disaster.
It was a bad interview.
And I got to thinking about it at some point along the way. Chuck, I think that what Jerry Palm did was he looked down on us.
Huh.
He looked down on the
he was
whole
talking down to
situation.
us?
Well, it was the whole situation was beneath him. Like, listen, guys, I deal with Duke and the people at the top of the tournament, and the SEC and Arkansas and you guys, and they're just not very good and whatever. And he wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared to talk about. He's going on a show in Arkansas, and I think he looked at us like a lot of people look at Arkansas, like people are looking at Arkansas football right now.
That's interesting.
Just it was almost dismissive, and we were asking reasonable questions, and he was just blabbering around and fumbling around and couldn't come up with, like basic
He was
things.
stymied.
And he kept saying, like, your conference record doesn't matter, but it matters, but it doesn't matter, and where you are in the standings doesn't matter, and it's like, all that stuff matters. Like the teams you're playing, how good they are, all of it matters. So anyhow, that was our last interview with Jerry Palm.
I think he was just trying to get out of here. Is what I honestly think.
Well, it was a painful exit.
And so that's what we allowed him to do. And we've allowed him to do that ever since. Just not be here.
Is Arkansas sleeping?
That's what he wanted.
I don't think people are doing that real. Maybe they still are. I don't know. Why did you get moved to the 4 seed line?
Well, the more I look into this, the more I think that Joe Lunardi has an agenda. I think he's kind of.
What is the
ESPN's
agenda?
always hated us.
What is the agenda?
So Arkansas
To get us
is
to
now-
talk about them?
Arkansas is now not only did they drop to a 4 seed line, they are now set to play in Sacramento.
I saw that
according
part.
to Joe Lunardi.
That's what caught my eye. I'm thinking, well, we're not going back to Sacramento.
We were just talking about grown,
Surely.
drunk people fighting on a golf course. That might cause a fight.
Another West Coast
If
trip.
Arkansas goes to the West Coast round 1 again, that might cause a fight.
I don't know if I'm going to do the show at 4 a.m.
If
we go back
It
out
might
there.
cause a fight.
I don't know if I'm not going to fight.
It could cause you to want to. You'd want to. You'd want to fight somebody. Bracket comes out. You want to fight somebody.
I'm going to tell you what I want. I want him to go to Fort Worth in the first round and Kansas City or San Antonio for the regional. That's what I want.
Is there anything closer, or is that as close as it gets?
Omaha's close. Fort Worth is close. I was looking at this last night.
Is there a Kansas City site this year?
Kansas City's the regional. Kansas City's a regional site.
Yeah, it's Fort Worth, it's Omaha, and Louisville are like the closest options this
Omaha
year.
and Fort Worth would be fine, and Kansas City or San Antonio for the regional would be great.
Even going to New York for the regional would be like fine, just in terms of like I think you get a lot of people to go to that.
Yeah, but people could drive. That's what I'm thinking about.
Sure.
When it's drivable, you take everybody who can, everybody who can get a ticket is a candidate to go. When you play in New York or California, as we saw last year, you've those plane tickets on 4 or 5 days' notice are pretty pricey.
Here's the great thing about this is, again, this is the preseason. Arkansas is going to get a chance to make Joe Lunardi look silly. Right, because they play Florida, who Lunardi has as a 1 seed. They play Arizona, who Lunardi has as a 1 seed. They play Texas, who he has as a 2 seed. They play Michigan State, who he has as a 2 seed. They play Virginia, who he has as a 3 seed. So
I'm sure. Look, the football season's here, and we're talking about the bracketology of Joe Lunardi. I get it.
Basketball's a big deal now.
But I think can we get Joe Lunardi on? Can we get him on? Would you mind? Like, let's just Joe. What do you seriously?
It's risky.
Come on, Joe.
Like,
what are you doing?
Like,
Joe?
can you move us? Would you just mind? Like, when it gets down to like the actual stuff and your actual opinion, like what? But when it's time for predictions of where they're going to play, do you not realize that we don't want to go back to the West?
We're not doing it. We're just not doing it,
man.
We'll
seriously.
We'll see you at the Sweet 16.
Like, we don't need this kind of anxiety in August.
Out.
We've got other anxieties. We don't need this one. Like, come on. I mean, Charlie's in Camden. Charlie, good morning. Chuck and Bo show. Sorry about the basketball talk.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, Charlie.
Hey, well, look here. Bart's got around. I mean, hey, everybody loves basketball now. And, a lot of people are overlooking football. But you know what? Maybe it needs to be that way. Maybe it needs to be everybody counting us out and all those things. I don't know if you guys heard Coach Nutt's interview recently on the did you hear this, Chuck, on the One Rush?
I heard some of it.
Okay. Well, and Ty did ask a good question as far as, like, you guys come into 98, and it's a I know you're happy to be, and Coach is like, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be the Razorback coach. But he asked him, how did you guys have that immediate success? Now, look, I know this is a totally different situation. But some of the things that Coach Silverfield talks about, and one of the things that I think is important is something that's we're talking about early here. They got this Utah game. If they're able to, let's just think about it. This team went 2-10 last year, and I know there's a lot of new guys on this team. But if they're able to have some success early, and what Coach Silverfield is preaching, right? If you guys, I know Bo, you're on Hogs Plus. You've heard some of this stuff. What he's preaching, what he believes in, all the culture stuff. If they have some success early, and let's just say they beat Utah on the road, and some of that stuff starts to come together, Houston Nutt said it. That could help his team because it gives them confidence. And, if they stop doing the things that team did with the 2 back-to-back 4-7 seasons with the turnovers and the penalties, when this team gets beat this year, I know, look, I hope they go undefeated, but that probably ain't going to happen. But when they get beat, I hope it's not the way we've been getting beat, and that's with just mistake after mistake after mistake. So I think that's where we're headed with Coach Silverfield. Chuck, I just don't know how much in year one it's going to change, but I think you will see a big improvement in that area. So, anyways, I'll hang up and listen.
That 98 year was such an interesting year because, they had a lot of the same problems in back-to-back seasons under Ford that they have had in back-to-back seasons under Pittman. Turnovers, penalties, just not playing winning football. Now, that team in 98, they had a lot of upperclassmen on that team, and they were well seasoned. Now, they were seasoned by getting beat I don't know how else to put it. They'd been seasoned by going 4-7 in back-to-back seasons. But they were ready to win. And for that reason, I think, that was a big part of why Coach Nutt was able to come in and change things so quickly. And that leads me to this. In the transfer portal era, it is natural to focus on the new. And in some cases, it's natural to just discard the old. But I'll submit to you that for all of Silverfield's talk about culture, for all the things all the new coaches, all the new players are talking about in terms of culture, those 20 that were here before, they're the ones, in my opinion, if this thing turns around, who are going to play a much larger role in this than people might imagine and people might think. They're the ones that have to buy in, because I think when you compare it to what happened in 98, there was total buy-in. At least that was my impression. There was total buy-in among the players that this was the guy that was going to lead us out of all this. Those 20 or thereabouts who are back from a year ago, every one of them's got to buy into the idea that Ryan Silverfield's the one who's going to lead us out of this. You don't know why all the new guys are here. Some are here because they believe in him. Some are here because this is the best deal they got. You just don't know. But the guys that are still here, they chose to stay. And they're the ones that I think have got to be the impetus for all this. And we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, so what do you think is going to happen this year? A very simple question. But given the fact that it's a whole new roster and a brand new coach, and there's 20 players from last year and a whole bunch that weren't here last year, and you've heard the things the coach is saying, what do you think happens this year and why? Cassano's Pizza Hotline, 877-377-6963. We were at First Security Bank yesterday. Man, it was fun. They did a great job. What a wonderful event with drive-by donuts, and we had a few of them. You can choose the power of personal with community banking at First Security. Their local team helps families, businesses, and entire communities thrive. You can stop by and see them today. Banking better with First Security Bank has never been better. FSBank.com, First Security Bank, member FDIC. Good Wednesday morning to you. Are we a bunch of idiots or what?
Yes, we are. Yes. Yes, we are. Yes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ben Blakeman joining us to talk about something they've been doing for 35 years, helping Arkansans with their stories and jewelry.
We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident. We want you to be educated. And we have a larger selection. We have more opportunities, more availability. Some people come in knowing exactly what they want. Some people come in having never been into a jewelry store before. We want both experiences to exceed all expectations.
Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. There's no better place to watch a game than Walk On Sports Bistro. With more than 60 TVs at every location, catch all the summer sports action while you cool off with mouth-watering Louisiana favorites like po' boys and gumbo, plus burgers, ice-cold draft beers, and cocktails made for hot days. Incredible food, outstanding service, and a game day atmosphere that never takes a season off. Visit one of the 5 locations across Arkansas today, including Rogers and Fayetteville. Walk On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Hey guys. You're having a great show today.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. Enjoy Oaklawn's 24/7 smoke-free casino featuring over 1,500 slots and live table games from blackjack to roulette, craps, baccarat, and much more. Voted best casino by 2026 Arkansas Times Readers Poll. And enjoy headliner entertainment at the Oaklawn Event Center. Log on to oaklawn.com and get all the details. And the Oaklawn Resort Pool is open all summer. Access granted to hotel and spa guests. Come join the fun at Oaklawn Hot Springs, Arkansas's only casino resort.
Experience football game days on the Hill this fall as head coach Ryan Silverfield leads the Hogs into 2026. Great home matchups line the 7-game slate in Fayetteville, including kickoff in Arkansas on September 5th, the SEC home opener versus the Georgia Bulldogs on September 19th, and a Thanksgiving weekend rivalry battle with the LSU Tigers. Season tickets start at just $300 and are available now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Here's Macadoodle's owner, Roger Gildehouse, on what he learned from Sam Walton.
I took my Walmart experience, and Sam always talked about, if you're going to get in business, you need to be better than the competition. Always be very price competitive, which we have been for 29 years. And the third thing, and most important thing, is have a customer service program that is beyond what the customers expect to get.
Visit Macadoodle's just north of the state line in Pineville or at Guess Who in Bentonville.
Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I think you will see this team this year play hard, play smart, give themselves a chance to win. I'm not naive, and I don't think there's going to be, they're not going to run the table, and there's probably going to be a game or two in there you lose, you think you ought to win, and hopefully there's some games in there that nobody thinks you're going to win now that you find a way to win. But my sense, from being around these guys, just the minimal amount of time that they've been here, and the minimal amount of time I've been around them, we're going to know this team's been coached. I expect to see the turnovers reduced, and I expect to see the penalties go down. And I don't think the secondary is going to get beat quite as bad as maybe the secondary got beat last year. Some of that's contingent upon putting pressure on the quarterback. So I think those areas, even though none of them are like, maybe by themselves aren't enough to, change their fortunes, if all three of those things happen, I do think they're going to be better.
That's what you want in year one of a new regime. You want to feel like that you have taken a step to change things and to fix things and to be competitive in a way that you weren't previously. To me, that's the whole reason you make a change.
Last year was just like so bad.
For so long.
And it went from bad to worse. I mean, and by the end of it, nobody was a hold of the rope.
It was over by like 4 games, 5 games into the season.
Well, when they lost at Memphis, it was over. And in retrospect. But one thing I do not think you'll see this year, I don't think you'll see this team, as the old saying goes, let go of the rope, which did happen last year. And that I don't think will happen this season. I will be very surprised if that happens. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park, with full replays available on YouTube and Twitter, or catch up on all 3 hours with a podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search The Chuck and Bo Show. I can't help myself, Edward. I can't help myself, all right? You want me to say it? I can't help myself around those breakfast cakes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Anybody that wants to answer can answer. Yes. If you have a brand, and we can talk about, like I was making it about Arkansas, but I guess you could pose this question about any new coach with any new team in college football. What is it that makes you think whatever you think about that season, this coming season, regarding that team and that coach? So I think Arkansas is looked at as last place in the league based on what? Last year, right?
Just the last few years, I think.
Last few years.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you base this year's prediction on? If they got 80 new players and a new coaching staff, what do you base it on? Is it how good the roster is? Do people go that far? Is it the roster's not any good? Is that how you get picked last? Or is it about the last few years? And if it's about the last few years, like how accurate can that be?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, none of which really are the deciding factors we sometimes think they are. It's what happened last year with a different team is it's not relevant. Yeah, when you talk about what's going to happen with this team, there is an air though that every program has, and we got to get out of the funk that we're in right now in terms of every season's going to be bad. I also think how the coach is on the microphone during the offseason factors into how people feel about it. Right or wrong, I don't think it has anything to do with anything. But people do lock in on that too.
I just kind of I think the reason I ask a question is challenging people to think a little deeper. Like, what is it? What is it that we really think about Arkansas this year? We kind of talked about this a week or so ago. Maybe it's just the way I think, but it's like, can we start over? Can we start over? Like, because they started over. Can we start over? And starting over doesn't mean you got 35 freshmen and you don't have any experience and you don't have any players. And again, I'm not saying that they're a top 10 contender, but I wonder what is that sort of default that we just go into? And I think it is about things that really don't have anything to do with this year's team.
Well, they don't have anything to do with this year's team, but it does have something to do with you as a fan, with individuals as fans. To say that to someone who has been coming to games for the last several years and has invested a lot of money, to say to that person what happened last year doesn't matter, I don't know that you can say that. Because it does matter to them. I mean, it does affect their outlook on everything. Does it have anything to do necessarily with what they're going to see on the field? Well, maybe, maybe not. I think part of it is, and look, Ryan Silverfield knows this, and this is the challenge of digging out, is that there are going to be people who assume because you've not been good, well, you're not good enough to attract good enough players to come in and change the course of things. I think people do have that feeling. You're right, though. We apply a feeling about players we've, in many cases, never seen play before. But I just think that's human nature. That in our case here, and I do sympathize with our fans on this. I don't think it can just be discounted. They've been beaten to death.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the feeling is completely understandable. But I also think that if this team turns it around, the bandwagon's going to get full again, and there are going to be people that say, I knew it all along. And that's fine. That's fine. It'll be nice if that happens. That'll be a good problem to have.
And those people are ready to roll, man. I mean, as soon as something good happens, I feel like people are going to be ready to watch it. Because you can't wait for it to happen. And you have it. It's like you're guarding yourself in some.
That's right. That's
regard.
exactly
like,
what's going on.
I just can't.
I'm not going to fall in love again. I'm just not going to do it.
Even though it's all a lie, you're already wanting it to happen.
No, you're right.
But and I think more of it from an outsider's perspective too. Like, so Chris Chowders asked me yesterday if Arkansas was if they could get like a Walmart going or a Fortune 100 or 500 company in the state of Arkansas. Yeah, we're not a big state, but we do have some really big companies. And if those two things got connected, Arkansas football and one of those companies, what might happen? And I made the point, like, well, sometimes you got to have a little reason, a small reason, a window to see something that makes you want to really get in and help.
Well,
and so if they go beat Utah, for example, I mean, it feel like that's the best thing that's happened. It's not true, but it feel like it's the best thing that happened around here in a decade.
I got to address this Walmart thing, though. Walmart's given a lot of money to our athletic program. The people that have worked for Walmart's a publicly traded company.
That's right.
The idea that at the shareholders meeting they're going to take a vote on whether or not to contribute to Arkansas NIL, that's not going to happen. There are a lot of Walmart people who've contributed money. You go look at some of the money in Arkansas's coffers and trace it back where it came from. It's got a Walmart origin. There's this idea from the outside that they've not tapped in. Well, I think they've tapped in more than people think.
Well, there are signs on the football field.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it's not as though people make it sound like that, and a lot of people, frankly, are mad at Hunter Yurachek over the fact that, well, Walmart's not involved. Yeah, they are. You may not know the names of all the people who work for Walmart who are given big money. Yeah. You may not know who they are, but they are.
Well, and what people mean when they say that nationally, just like Tyson, and they mean John Tyson. They talk about Tyson Foods, but they mean, look, you have marketing dollars, right? That's what the jersey patch is. Those are marketing dollars that the company decides to spend on marketing. And then you have individuals like you're talking about. So when people say Walmart, I don't know if they understand what you're saying, but they're talking about the Waltons, or people that have that kind of money that could make a difference in our state.
Well,
with football.
I hope it happens. I mean, I hope it does. But, we've got this idea, I think, that if people will just go out and, browbeat them to death, that, they'll start pumping all this money in. Most of these facilities on our campus are named after people that were Walmart. Bogle, Baum, Walker, I mean, the whole deal. Trace the money. It's all Walmart. There's this idea that, well, they can't get into Walmart money. The whole deal's Walmart money. What are you talking about?
Campus.
I mean, give me a break. They're doing a lot already.
Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, I mean,
Sam
come
Walton
on.
College of Business.
I mean, what do you want? That to me has just been one of the things that when I listen to it, it drives me nuts. It's like, well, they just can't tap into Walmart. Drive around that campus. I mean, come on.
Well, moving on from Walmart, is Arkansas a sleeping giant?
Now that's a different question.
Yeah,
but whether or not Arkansas is a sleeping giant is not contingent upon Walmart, and that's the national narrative. They're a sleeping giant because they could get into Walmart. I agree. Arkansas's got sleeping giant qualities, but it's not contingent upon Walmart. As a company deciding that, they're going to back the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Silverfield did make the statement the other day, though, and I think that kind of perpetuated the idea. What did he say? Like, if I don't remember exactly what.
So
he
if
said.
you get into Walmart, game over.
Yeah,
and look, it would be nice and people focus on the Walton grandkids. It would be nice if they were rabid Razorback fans and everything they thought about every day was how can we make the Razorbacks better? But that's not how they think. And the idea that you can just go in there and browbeat them and suddenly make them like everything that you're wanting them to like, I don't know that that's going to happen.
Also, like some people have interests outside of athletics, right? And want to support things outside of athletics. Like the Walton family has been extremely generous just in terms of giving to the University of Arkansas proper, like funding research, funding graduate programs, funding scholarships. A few years ago, I think they gave almost $200 million to the university itself, the Walton Family Foundation. So that's part of it too, right?
I didn't mean to make this about Walmart. Sorry. I was trying to make it about football, but we'll take a break. We got to hit it. 6:48, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. I don't mean to sound like a moron, but I can't help myself sometimes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to a roof or remodel, you want somebody that's going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going to come in on time and on budget. And you might need it right now and can't afford it at this moment. Well, Teamwork has a plan for you. Now offering financing options like 0 down, 0% for 12 months, or low fixed payments over time and no payments for 60 days. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality and powered by Teamwork.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acuras, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
Hog fans, your 5-time SEC champion Razorback soccer team is back in action on Thursday night at 6:30 when they take on number 8 North Carolina. It's a whiteout, and the first 500 fans will receive an Arkansas soccer hat. Come support Coach Hale and the Hogs at Razorback Field. Tickets are just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call 479-575-5151 to secure your tickets today.
I've got a lot more rhythm than people realize.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home.
High school athletics at its best. If you aren't following Varsity Vibe, what are you waiting for? We're your go-to source for the latest information on what's happening around the state and showcasing the players and teams that bring the action to life. Sure, we've got your highlight scores and all-access interviews, but we're also keeping you up to date with our newsletter twice a week and our weekly podcast. Subscribe now at varsityvibearkansas.com. Follow us on Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok, and make sure you're in the know. Varsity Vibe Arkansas. We've got it covered.
Man, I love spending time at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark. Members enjoy it all. They've got state-of-the-art practice facilities, dining, events, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. Your home away from home.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today. Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
I think I have 1,100 subscriptions. I'm pretty sure. It is so ridiculous.
That guy subscribed to Hulu twice.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Wednesday, good morning. What have we covered so far? Basketball, going to be in a 4-seed.
Wrestling.
In Joe Lenardi's
We
bracket.
began with wrestling.
Arkansas picked up its second defensive back in as many days because of this injunction by a judge. So class of 2022, we got two players. One of them's from Dartmouth.
This guy was all Ivy League.
Yeah, how about that? Is he the first all Ivy League player Arkansas has ever had?
I don't know. I think it was like multiple times.
Can we say it? Could we say it? Can we take a guess and say that he's probably the first Arkansas all Ivy League football player?
Didn't we have an
put it in the record
kid
books
a few years ago?
Sean Williams.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I'm gonna be.
Well, that's unusual. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say not very good.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't.
You're leaning negative. I can tell you're leaning to the negative.
I don't feel good about this. But that's not.
Sounds like you do know how you feel.
Yeah, maybe I do. I just wanted to build up.
Well,
Yeah, build up some.
Easing into it's out the window.
Yeah.
Now that you can't stand the idea of this, what
makes you feel bad about it?
I don't like it. I don't like that Arkansas is doing it. I don't like that anybody's doing it, frankly, because there's a chance that this gets overturned at some point, right? That this injunction gets invalidated, that it gets overturned by a higher court, that it just goes away, and then you have a bunch of schools who've been playing ineligible players who are in theory eligible to be punished by the NCAA.
I don't think it's going to work like that.
I think there's a reason Greg Sankey sent out that memo about, abide by the NCAA rules at this time because there's too much uncertainty. I don't like seeing teams not do that.
Yeah, but if Charles Bediako, that case would have made Alabama in all those games ineligible. You can't go by a judge's ruling and then it changes. If it changes, you got to stop doing it then. But you can't be punished for something that the court said was legal.
I don't think they'll go back and make people forfeit.
No,
they may
maybe
say
not.
you can't play anymore, but I'll bet the games stand.
6:55, Chuck and Bo Show, Wednesday. Good morning.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year. But replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. This football season, it's time to tailgate like you mean it. The 1910 Club is Fayetteville's premier game day destination, just steps from Razorback Stadium, and it's got everything you need already waiting for you. Wi-Fi, power, and real bathrooms, plus a crew that runs the show so you can just show up and have a good time. Get a full season spot or pick the individual games you want. Log on at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to a roof or remodel, you want somebody that's going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going to come in on time and on budget. And you might need it right now and can't afford it at this moment. Well, Teamwork has a plan for you, now offering financing options like 0 down, 0% for 12 months, or low fixed payments over time and no payments for 60 days. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Ben Blakeman joining us to talk about something they've been doing for 35 years, helping Arkansans with their stories and jewelry.
You know, we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident. We want you to be educated. And we have a larger selection. We have more opportunities, more availability. Some people come in knowing exactly what they want. Some people come in having never been into a jewelry store before. We want both experiences to exceed all expectations.
Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. At First Security Bank, banking isn't one size fits all. It's personal because everyone's financial journey looks a little different. From managing day-to-day spending, to running a small business, to helping your kids learn more smart money habits, or taking that big step toward buying a home. At First Security, you get the services you expect, the technology you need, and the real support of local people who live here, know the community, and take the time to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Life moves fast, and having a bank that moves with you makes a difference. Whether you prefer stopping by a branch, banking on the app, or picking up the phone to talk with someone who actually knows your name, First Security is there. They offer smart tools like mobile banking, bill pay, and mobile check deposit, along with thoughtful solutions like flex banking for kids, checking built for small businesses, and local mortgage lenders who guide you through the home buying process. Choose the power of personal. Bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, the work that they're able to do with them in the sun. It used to be you couldn't stand on a hill a mile away and watch them practice if you're a coach. And now you get like 2 hours a week on-field work, which I think they broke up into like 14 OTAs over the summer. And you get 2 hours of film study with them, in addition to, the time that the strength staff gets to spend with them. So you do have a lot of carryover from spring, summer, and into fall camp. And so, yeah, it does feel like they hit the ground running. I have to be careful sometimes, guys, because when I say, I think they'll be good at this spot. I think they'll be good here. Sometimes when I say that, I just mean I think they'll be average. I love football, and I get excited like anybody else. I mean, I'm probably, depending on how things go, going to be somewhere around 4 wins. Give or take. Maybe I go up to 5 if I really like what I see. Maybe I drop it down to 3. But when I say stuff like, I always have to be careful with that because I get excited. But when I say something's going to be good, sometimes I just mean they're going to be average. And I think that they have a roster that is good enough. If they can do those things, penalties, turnovers, special teams, if they can do those things and they have a quarterback that is at least competent, that doesn't just kill them, that they could get to a bowl game. People look at the schedule and say, well, this is the most brutal thing ever, and there's no way that they're going to be. Teams do that kind of stuff. There's things that happen. You look at a team that is what they are right now, what they're projected. You don't know what's going to happen to Auburn. You seen the slate Auburn has before they play Arkansas. Who knows? Shane Beamer could be on the hottest of hot seats. He could be out of there by the time Arkansas plays them. And that's in Fayetteville. There are things that could unfold throughout the course of a season that you just don't expect.
Never miss a moment of the Chuck and Bo Show on demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Watch us on YouTube, Twitter, every weekday, or stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Man, when I got home from work, you wouldn't believe it. My wife said, I heard you call the show this morning. So whoever that is, I imagine it's a co-worker of hers. If you happen to be listening right now, let's just keep this between us,
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're just talking. You're just talking.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Cheats, steals.
He's a real talk show host.
Live from the Warfield Distillery Studios, Idaho's most awarded distillery.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Let it rip.
Let it go.
If you're a Hog fan, be a Hog fan.
Hey, Bo, you're wrong.
Come in at your own risk. Nobody's safe in here.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Matting.
But a lively discussion. As
It has
football
been.
Approaches.
We're only an hour in.
Every day is getting closer to the kickoff. All guests join us on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline. It's 7:02 here on a Wednesday morning. Texas Sportscaster of the Year and voice of the Texas A&M Aggies, Andrew Monaco, joining us to talk A&M and maybe a little bit more, a colleague of Chuck.
Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
It's good to talk to you. Congratulations on yet another honor.
Thank you. Very, very kind of you, Hall of Famer. I'm still striving.
You're young. You're young. After a while, they just do that because you're old.
Andrew, are people sleeping on the Aggies a little bit in all the preseason predictions?
They might be. They come in at number 8, so maybe. But, preseason predictions really are all about last year. I don't think there's any preseason prediction that can say, oh, you're going to go through 2 quarterbacks and you're going to have a year. So I get that. Are they? Yes. Is it deserved? I'm going to say yes, because I'm going to say something that Mike Elko said, that this is a team and this is a program that has had trouble sustaining success. And Mike's been honest about that. That's what has to happen next. That this team has to follow up last year. They have to do that. They didn't do that in the past. So I can see where there's some doubt. There's do it again. But I could also see where, they finished in the college football playoff. Let's put them in a position in this preseason that they're going to make the playoff again. Certainly not going to be easy. Never is coming out of the SEC, but that's the position the Aggies find themselves.
Andrew, I know fans, and I know Aggie fans, think of themselves as a 10 or 11 win program. What I wonder about, and I think Elko may have done a pretty good job at this without the rest of us fully understanding what he's done, it seems like A&M now carries themselves as a program like a 10 or 11 win type program. Now, growing up for me, they were more like a 7 or 8 win program. It just seems like the mindset has changed within the program. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, and that's Mike Elko. Give him a ton of credit for what he's done in 2 years, but that's exactly what it is. And, he reminds me an awful lot, and this is saying an awful lot as well. He reminds me an awful lot of R.C. Slocum. that way. Players being very loyal to him, and you can definitely see that from RC now where he is in his career. But when you talk to players who played for Mike either as a defensive coordinator or in the last couple of years, and you talk to players who played for RC, there's that connection. There's also that responsibility that comes with it, that what you're doing on the field is important. What you're representing is even more important. And you have to have the talent, Chuck. That's there also. And you can. And there's been some underperforming in the past, but this is a team that had 10 guys drafted, had 15 signed with the NFL. But that cannot be an aberration. They have to keep doing that every single season. Here's something that he told the players yesterday at the end of camp, which I thought was fascinating. He goes, look, this is the time of camp where it's not fun. You all start bickering. Look, coaches start bickering too. You know that. He goes, but this is the stuff that you have to fight through. And you have to continue with this process of getting better. He said, because when teams get better, more players get drafted. Just the way it works. You want to be a national championship team, this is what you have to fight through. You want to be that double-digit win team and get drafted, this is the work that you have to put in. He goes, 7 and 5 teams, guess what? Guys don't get drafted. Not a lot of them. It's that team success that really falls on everybody. And I think that he has been able to really, really make that something in these last 2 years as head coach.
Hey, Andrew, when A&M was, when Texas was not part of the SEC, it seemed like A&M at that point, you were able to go out and recruit. Hey, if you want to play in the Texas high school kid, you want to play in the SEC, you got to play for A&M. The outside world, when Texas came into the league, thought, well, that's going to take care of Texas A&M. Talk to us about that rivalry, Texas coming into the SEC, big picture. You've experienced both. What's that changed for A&M?
What changed, Chuck, honestly, is I think from the time A&M left the Big 12 to the SEC to where it is now, it's a completely different athletic program. I think that's the biggest difference. Is this isn't the same A&M that Texas that was with Texas in 2012. That all changed. It's been beefed up, and obviously with not just the coaches, the ADs, I think have been stronger of late, and the input into the program. I think that's been huge. Look, they always recruited against Texas, but you know this better than anybody. You were always recruiting against LSU and Oklahoma and Arkansas. They were all coming into Texas. I think the one thing that Jimbo Fisher needs to get some credit for that he probably doesn't, and maybe as we get farther away we realize the good that he did for the program, is he turned it. It's always going to be a Texas program. He might make it national, and I think Mike understands that also. You're always going to take care of the Texas high school coaches, first and foremost. This is a national program, and whether it was Jimbo, what he would call the South, that he would recruit from when he was at Florida State or when he was an assistant at LSU, you got to get those kids out of Mississippi. You got to get some of them out of the northern part of Florida, but you better get some of that speed out of South Florida as well. I think he identified that, and Mike's been a big part of that as well, because Mike, as a DC, was recruiting some of his old areas as well. He and Elijah Robinson, who's back, had that Philadelphia area, that New Jersey area. And they're not the only places, but can you get that kid out of California to come here now? Can you get the kid to stay home? And you're going to battle for those. But can you get some of those kids on a national scale? And that's not just high school. I think that's also in the portal as well. How do you make this program attractive to someone who's on the outside looking in? I think you have to hit in all of those. I think you still have to layer the roster. But, no, it's fascinating. This is my running joke with Texas. It took them 13 years to make the decision that the Aggies made in 2012. 13 years later, Texas came in, and, again, it makes the SEC stronger. But it, I think, helped establish Texas A&M. If you remember for a while there, whether it was Mike Slive, he would always say, that is the program in Texas. SEC's program in Texas was Texas A&M. and I think the Aggies used it to their advantage.
And I remember when that happened, and we wondered how it would impact A&M, how it would impact schools like Arkansas, recruiting in Texas. We're getting to know the programs on Arkansas' schedule. We're talking Texas A&M with the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, here on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline. The SEC is a part of that, like joining the league and becoming nationally maybe more shiny to recruits across the country. But to me, I wonder, Andrew, what's kind of ignited? I mean, the money's always been there. A&M's always had financial support. But it seems like there's been a catalyst of something that's made it all sort of come to life. Is there something beyond joining the SEC that's changed?
That, I think, has been huge. I think there, always that, there has been money. How's it been spent? Right? It's one thing to have it. How do you spend it? Like, can you stop the revolving door of coaches? Can you have that kind of time now? As I say that, that's looking in the past. Looking in the future, I think that changes. I think in our NIL world and I think some of the patience, and after what we saw in college football last year, I think it gets even harder for coaches, and I'm not sure the leash is as long as it's been. You can't blame a bad recruiting class any longer and get a little time for that. We just don't have that patience, fair or unfair. I totally get that, but no, I think now for A&M with Trev Alberts as the director of athletics here, I think the alignment is there, and I think that becomes important. Do you have that alignment? Do you have? You have to see success. Look, I could say all of that. If we were 6-6, we'd be talking about Mike Elko being in trouble and all of that. You know what I mean? Like that, there would be that. So success really helps an awful lot. But to Mike's point, as the players were saying something. It's like, look in the trophy case. In the SEC, there's nothing there from the play in the SEC. But his point is, look, getting to Atlanta has to be important to y'all. I understand when you talk college football playoff, do you want to get there? A&M's never been there. That has to be part of that step for A&M. Getting to the college football playoff last year was huge for the Aggies, and yet they still left some stuff out there. And I think he's one of those guys that understands, okay, here's what we have, here's the success, here's how we're going to spend that money. I'm not naive to any of that. But if money were to solve all the problems, then those programs would be the ones that would be winning every year. Or someone could just say, look, we're going to spend, we're not going to recruit high school players. Look, schools have tried that, and that has failed miserably. I still think culture matters. I still think, and I'm speaking only for this program, playing at A&M has to matter to a player. It has to matter to not just the 12th man, but can you be a part of this school and with this alumni? It has to matter. If not, guys, then we're all just rooting for laundry, and I don't know if I want to be a part of it for the future. So that's not what I'm saying. You're seeing that. I hate to use the cliche like the buy-in, but that's what you get. It has to be talent. It has to be spent wisely. Because at some point in this wild, wild west, guys, I think we're all going to look at return of investment. We haven't really done that right now. This is great. We have the shiny new thing, and let's throw money at it. What happens with the return of investment when that donor spends money and isn't getting the result that he or she really wants? That's when I think NIL will start finding itself getting between the rails and trying to straighten itself out.
Visiting with Andrew Monaco, voice of the Aggies. All right, let's break it down. What does A&M have to do this year to be good?
Offensive line has to come together. I hate making it that simple. You got a quarterback in Marcel Reed who's coming back. I think he's got more weapons on the outside than he's ever had since I've been here, Chuck. And this is now year number 9. I think this is the best wide receiving core that has been here. And I loved last year's. Casey Concepcion's gone. He's in Cleveland. Mario Craver is back though. And to have Isaiah Horton come in and the development of Ashton Bethel-Roman, who came on last year for the Aggies, and a healthy Terry Bussey, that's really exciting. And I think what's it's bubbling under there as well. That's important. But can Marcel get them the ball? He's going to have time. The only guy returning on the offensive line is going to be the center, Mark Naboo. So they're going to have to gel and have to come together early. The defense, I think, is always going to be salty for A&M. Look, Elko's a defensive guy. The D-line will have to be pieced back together. There are some pieces. DJ Hicks in the interior. Anto Saka comes in from Northwestern. He's had a great camp. Marco Jones is a freshman. Linebackers are good coming back. Damian Sanford will be back from injury. Really good young linebacker. And Mike's going to have a good back end, and the competitiveness in the safeties and the corners are going to be big. I'm going to use a line that I used from baseball that Michael Early told me, which you better have depth. So you either have depth or you just have a bunch of guys. And playing 9 SEC games, I think you're going to have that depth, not just for injuries, but I think you're going to have to rotate, and you better not drop in any kind of quality when that – I don't even like to say first and second teams any longer because the way coaches shuffle. But you better not have any drop because also like baseball, the ball finds you, and SEC teams will exploit any kind of weakness that you have. I think the kicking game is going to be better as well, as that ended up being a little bit of an Achilles heel for the Aggies last year. But a lot of excitement, always some questions. Every team has some going into a season. You hope that the camp answers some of them, and you certainly hope when you get to game week, more of those questions get answered, and you don't have those questions by the end of the season.
Real quick, Andrew, before we get out of here, is there a pivotal game on A&M's schedule? Is there a game on the schedule that you think has a massive impact? Well, all of them do, but a massive impact
they
on
do.
the season.
I really think this team gets judged on the end of November or in November, and I'm not saying that just because they put themselves in position 2 years ago and let November slip away. Last year they finished better, but when it mattered, they didn't against Texas and then the college football playoff. I think there was that build. There was the scare against South Carolina. I don't know if it's one. I think it's going to be that build. One bye. It's going to come after Alabama in October, and then that November kick certainly isn't easy. It's not going to be easy for anyone because we got rid of that game, and now it's an SEC game going into rivalry week. That's when we're going to see. If everything's coming together and the Aggies are playing like they hope that they will be playing, then, yeah, there's going to be a college football playoff bid on the bot. The last 2 years, they've had a shot to go to Alabama. In the last 2 years, it slipped by their fingers. If that's not the chip on the shoulder, I don't know what it would be.
Andrew Monaco, voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Pleasure talking. You bet.
Appreciate the time.
See you soon.
All guests join us on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline, taking a look around the conference of teams on Arkansas' schedule. And who's ready to beat the Aggies?
Well,
yes. Why not? All guests join us on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline, where they've been doing it Chicago style since 2004. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Buck off drafts, Wells, and house wine, plus their happiest hour from 5 to 6, where you get $1.50 domestic drafts. Gasano's has a new location coming to Fayetteville. That's a second location. They're all over Northwest Arkansas. Fort Smith, Texarkana, and Joplin. Gasano's Chicago-style pizza.
Let's just be frank. There's been some football games the last few years that have driven people to drinking.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Blakeman's isn't just where Arkansas gets engaged. It's where you go to have a wonderful experience.
Every touch point matters, and I think what we show off best is Cafe B. It's Onyx Coffee by Blakeman's. Cafe B, we're offering the best coffee in the country, complimentary. I feel so fortunate to be able to go to work there every day. Big windows, the open lighting, the warm environment, and again, the cafe. It's the best.
Blakeman's, where every day is a diamond.
In a world full of shortcuts, one whiskey refused. 100% local Idaho barley, aged in Idaho's mountain climate. For complexity you can taste, a spirit that answers to the land and no one else. This is not just whiskey. This is a declaration. Warfield, American single malt whiskey from Idaho's most awarded distillery. Set the standard. Available at select spirits retailers nationwide. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Parts.
Who says bigger is always better? Burton Pools and Spas is the area's exclusive dealer for plunge pools by Thursday Pools. In-ground fiberglass pools designed for today's lifestyles with easy maintenance and more time for fun. Cool off after work, relax with family, or host friends for game day. And right now, installed plunge pool packages start under $40,000. Stop by one of Burton Pools and Spas' 5 convenient locations or visit burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life. He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Who says bigger is always better? Burton Pools and Spas is the area's exclusive dealer for plunge pools by Thursday Pools. In-ground fiberglass pools designed for today's lifestyles with easy maintenance and more time for fun. Cool off after work, relax with family, or host friends for game day. And right now, installed plunge pool packages start under $40,000. Stop by one of Burton Pools and Spas' 5 convenient locations or visit burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life.
Man, I love spending time at Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark. Members enjoy it all. They've got state-of-the-art practice facilities, dining, events, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. Your home away from home.
The 1910 Club is taking tailgating to another level. It's on Oliver Street, just steps from Razorback Stadium. And every spot comes with Wi-Fi, power hookups, real bathrooms, and a club crew handling all the details so you don't have to. And if you're not ready for a full season, single game spots are available for nearly every home game. Pick your exact spot on the interactive map at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com. Get in the club and tailgate like you mean it.
In a world full of shortcuts, one whiskey refused. 100% local Idaho barley, aged in Idaho's mountain climate. For complexity you can taste, a spirit that answers to the land and no one else. This is not just whiskey. This is a declaration. Warfield, American single malt whiskey from Idaho's most awarded distillery. Set the standard. Available at select retailers nationwide. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple. I've learned so much just off the air today, listening to Bart and Edward and Riley. I'm really out of touch. I mean, I really am.
With what?
With everything.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good breakfast today. Proland Breakfast Fund. Thank you for Proland Title. They cheer for the pigs and close for the pros there. 45 offices throughout Arkansas, independently owned. They can put you first. They've got a huge range of national underwriters that gives them the ability to say yes to things others may not be able to. So you can cheer for the pigs and close with the pros at Proland Title. ProlandTitle.com. The founder of the Breakfast Fund is joining us on the Cassano's Pizza Hotline. It's David and Cersei. David was the first to put money in the Breakfast Fund. Bart took it and went on a road trip with it, but we eventually got it figured out. And David, good morning.
Good morning. I was just happy I could help Bart out in any way I could. Listen, I got to vent just for a second, and then I want to talk about the football team.
Okay.
I am sick and tired of all these 2 and 10 clowns on social media. Left lane and hammered down one more year. That's a pile of crap. Why do you guys have to do that? I know why. It's because you're not happy with yourself. Let me encourage you to go out and do something today that makes you feel better about yourself. I'm 71 years old and ugly. I can't help that. I'm on the back trail every day. I'm losing weight. Hell, I may go get a couple of diamond earring studs when I lose 5 more pounds. Who knows? Just do something that makes you feel better. Listen, guys, the key to this football team this year quarterback play. But that's a cop-out. The key to every team is the quarterback play. The key to this team is our numbers on defense. We have good numbers on the defensive line. We have good numbers at linebacker. But when those 2s and those 3s come in, can they hold their end up and not let the game slip away? If they can do that, and right now I give them 50-50 on that happening. If that happens, this team is 6-6 and in a bowl game. Guarantee you, that's what we need. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, David. How about that?
All right.
I was trying to get to the
Where
fight
do they
song.
go at
I couldn't get it. What's Jerry Palm project in a bowl game? All right. What bowl game do you want to go to this year? What bowl game do you want to go to?
Let's stay out of
Let's
Memphis.
Get it out.
Let's stay out.
I'll take
stay
Liberty
out.
Bowl. Have they finished the stadium yet? Have they finished the stadium?
No,
know.
not yet.
I don't
So
know.
would it still be a hole?
No,
if they played in the Liberty Bowl?
there's no. The hole is gone.
They filled that in.
Yes, there's like a
They're
there's
on time.
there's a
with that
structure.
project.
There's a structure in place now. Yeah, the hole is gone.
Pick a bowl, Bart. Any bowl. What bowl do you want to go to? SEC ties. We'll take one without even. Which bowl?
One where it's warm.
The Birmingham Bowl.
No.
I kind of like Tampa.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I like Tampa.
Can you
Tampa was a
imagine
good trip.
we're sitting here in December and people are griping about the bowl game we got to go to?
Well,
that's why do we have to go there?
That'll be okay. That'll be all right.
That sounds okay. Now.
I could get into that. Believe me.
Well, no.
I'm just saying the nature of it.
The one I wanted to go to doesn't have an SEC tie-in, so
What's
that was the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
I thought you were going to say the Vegas
The
Bowl.
Pop-Tarts Bowl would be a spectacular choice.
Can you imagine going to the Pop-Tarts Bowl this year? Pop-Tarts for everyone.
I think it's a good bowl. Of course, I think all of them are good bowls. I
Any
enjoy
bowl?
every one of them.
I'm just saying.
I've never had a bad time.
Dreaming.
I'm trying to see if there's a. This information's not updated. I think this is an SEC year for the Las Vegas Bowl, but I could be very mistaken on that. That contract could have run its course.
Leonard's in Van Buren. Leonard, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, yeah, this is Leonard, but I'm gonna tell you right now.
Hey, Leonard.
You can put it in the book. They're gonna make a bowl game, and I'm gonna be honest with you. In my book last year, they made a bowl game. They beat 3 or 4 doggone teams, man, and they just gave the game away in the end. Stupid mistakes. If they'll clean up and get some discipline this year, which I believe the coach that came in will give them discipline, they're going to make a bowl game. Those guys are going to show you something. A lot of games they lost last year because of no discipline and just making ignorant mistakes and just didn't have no discipline. They're going to be fine this year. I'll get off and let you guys
All
talk
right, Leonard,
about that.
thank you. We just don't know yet. We're going to get an idea in a hurry. We don't know yet how quickly this team's going to gel. I don't buy into the idea that this is a bad roster. I know a lot of people believe it is. I don't buy into that. But neither am I going to sit here and say that, hey, with 3/4 of your team brand new, you're going to be at midseason form the first time you go out there and hit the field, because you're probably not. So, I think there's personnel there to do more than people think, but obviously you got to go out there and do it.
877-377-6963. Bart's got his own preseason top 25 that we will be able to compare to the both the coaches' preseason top 25 and the AP top 25 at the end of the year. Who was more accurate? A group of college football coaches, a group of
Bart.
I did this based on what I think the final CFP rankings will look like. Right, this is not a ranking of how good I think these teams are.
Huh?
Now what?
Well, it seems like
that was a Jerry Palm quality.
Seems
so
like
you're saying their
would,
conference record matters, but it doesn't really matter?
No, well, look,
but it's on their team sheet.
The rankings at the end of the year oftentimes are not indicative of how good teams actually are, right? Because it's a reflection of their record and who they've beaten and everything.
So this is a
we had this
prediction
we had this conversation for years, right?
Ad
Like
nauseam.
Arkansas goes 6-6, 7-5, but they're way better than this team that won 8 or 9 games because they won 8 or 9 games against the American League or whatever, right? Like so that's what I'm saying. This is what I think the college football playoff rankings will look like at the end of the year.
This is your prediction on how it's all going to shake out.
Right.
Okay.
Same
thing.
Same thing.
I mean,
All right. So we'll do that at some point. Now that we understand exactly.
Well, no, like for example, like Iowa's going to be on this. Do I think Iowa's going to be one of the 25 best teams in college football this year? No. But they're going to be ranked in the
question
top 25.
is how accurate is the preseason top 25 at the end of the year? That's all we're trying to establish. Is Bart more
We're trying
accurate?
to keep score.
Right.
We're trying to keep score. So don't go with this feeling stuff. They're not really as good.
Qualifying
We're keeping
crap.
score.
I understand. That's why I did it the way I did
That's
it.
good.
What's Arkansas's record going to be?
Don't ask me that.
7:30, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
We got wackos, people. There are wackos everywhere.
I call them our base. I mean, you call them wackos if you want.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acuras, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Are you a real estate agent looking for more than just a place to hang your license? Then it's time to discover the difference at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. At Weichert, you'll find industry-leading training, powerful marketing tools, hands-on support, and a team that's invested in your success. Whether you're a brand new agent or a seasoned professional, Weichert gives you the resources you need to grow your business and reach your goals. Ready to learn more? Text CAREER to 479-306-6139. Your next chapter starts here.
Hog fans, your 5-time SEC champion Razorback soccer team is back in action on Thursday night at 6:30 when they take on number 8 North Carolina. It's a whiteout, and the first 500 fans will receive an Arkansas soccer hat. Come support Coach Hale and the Hogs at Razorback Field. Tickets are just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call 479-575-5151 to secure your tickets today.
Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I think you will see this team this year play hard, play smart, give themselves a chance to win. I'm not naive, and I don't think there's going to be, they're not going to run the table, and there's probably going to be a game or two in there you lose, you think you ought to win, and hopefully there's some games in there that nobody thinks you're going to win now that you find a way to win. But my sense, from being around these guys, just the minimal amount of time that they've been here and the minimal amount of time I've been around them, we're going to know this team's been coached. I expect to see the turnovers reduced, and I expect to see the penalties go down. And I don't think the secondary is going to get beat quite as bad as maybe the secondary got beat last year. Some of that's contingent upon putting pressure on the quarterback. So I think those areas, even though none of them are like, maybe by themselves aren't enough to, change their fortunes, if all three of those things happen, I do think they're going to be better.
That's what you want in year one of a new regime. You want to feel like that you have taken a step to change things and to fix things and to be competitive in a way that you weren't previously. To me, that's the whole reason you make a change.
Last year was just like so bad.
For so long.
And it went from bad to worse. I mean, and by the end of it, nobody was a hold of the rope.
It was over by like 4 games, 5 games into the season.
Well, when they lost at Memphis, it was over. And in retrospect. But one thing I do not think you'll see this year, I don't think you'll see this team, as the old saying goes, let go of the rope, which did happen last year. And that I don't think will happen this season. I will be very surprised if that happens. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park, with full replays available on YouTube and Twitter, or catch up on all 3 hours with a podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck and I have been doing radio our entire lives. We've been doing shows like this our entire lives. But I feel like we've been having these same conversations for 30 years, Chuck. And it is basically, how do we win at football?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Still having that conversation today. Apparently now the conversation is get you an AD. That's what we're hearing. Or if the AD was speaking at the Touchdown Club, or, it was like everybody was, it was the coach for a while. Now we moved on to the AD. And that's the discussion.
We got to stop that. I mean, really, when Andrew was talking about Trev Alberts, I got to thinking about Trev Alberts. He was up there in Nebraska.
Seemed like the perfect fit.
Alma mater, Nebraska hero. And all they did was argue about whether or not he ought to be fired. Same way we're doing it here now. All they did was argue about whether or not Trev Alberts ought to be fired because they weren't winning at football the way that, they once did. And finally, Trev Alberts just had enough. And he left his alma mater and he went to A&M. And I'm going to bet he enjoys his days a lot more now than he did before. Guys, this stuff about arguing over the athletic director, find me good programs out there where they're doing this. I was being somewhat facetious when I said, let's get to the point where we're arguing about what they're doing on third down. Let's at least argue about football.
Should they have punted?
Let's at least argue about football.
Do you think they'll punt on third down?
This is counterproductive. This is counterproductive to continue to do this. We've latched on to what happened at the Touchdown Club last year. As a fan base, we've latched on to it. I understand how this stuff works. I understand sometimes you say things and it stays with you for a long time. Sometimes stays with you forever. That's just the reality of the real world. And he said something that day that for some people, they're never going to be able to get it out of their heads. Okay, I get it. But this constant arguing about our athletic director as though he's going to have a real hand this year, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but Hunter Yurachek's not going to have that much role in what happens out there on the football field this year. He's just not. Now, you can argue all you want to about what he should have done or could have done or should have done this, should have done that, didn't embrace it, came in too late. You can say anything you want to about that stuff. But we got to stop this. We got to stop this because it's not doing us any good.
Yeah, but people are having too much.
I know how it works. I know how it works. I've been around here forever, and
they're begging us to talk.
We argue about everything. It's what people want to talk about right now, and I know it. It's what we get texts about when I'm out in the community. It's what people bring up, and it's like, guys, we got a football season at hand, right? We got to stop this, but I'm not naive, and I know it's not going to stop.
Put it on the poll, Everett, if you would. What do you think about Hunter? after we get all the responses.
That'll be our most responses.
After we get all the responses.
Oh, my gosh.
After we get all the responses, we're going to tell Hunter Henry we're sorry.
Yeah. Hey, we need some social media
Just
interaction
like
today. Somebody start the
that
Hunter
summer
Yurichek
interview
argument.
You came in here and you do every year, Hunter, and did not go very well. Good luck in New England.
What do you
this
think
year
of
with your
Hunter?
new
And then
contract?
the follow-up tweet is with an asterisk. Hunter Henry. We meant Hunter Henry.
Let's see if it changes the ball.
Hunter, and then in parentheses.
I mean, it's great engagement.
In small print, Henry.
If we want to boost our social media numbers, I'd be happy.
It's like we're so pissed off about so many things for so long.
It is the
around here
lowest hanging
that
fruit.
we've got to find something to latch onto. Somebody's got to be like stoned with oranges in the town square. Like it's like a right. It's just like our right as a fan, because we haven't been good enough at football for however long, that like it's like homecoming parades at high schools. They go to the town square. Like every year, somebody's going to take the orange pelting in the square. Bring your oranges, peel them first, and throw them at this person.
You guys got to make a deal right here. We got to make a deal. The first time there's like any kind of football decision that anyone could possibly think it's the other way, we got to argue about that for a day, as opposed to like whether or not we ought to change.
I mean, we got to listen. Our state has to fire somebody. We just have to, like, what is it? What is the fascination also with firing? Is it just here or is it everywhere? I know it's other places, but is every fan base poised to fire someone?
It's become part of the game. It's become part of the entertainment package, and for better or worse. And in many cases, it is for worse. But it is part of the entertainment package. And look, this is when ESPN figured it out a long time ago. I mean, they're going to pump more money into this than anybody else, and the conferences of their choice are always going to have plenty of money to pay Hall of Fame coaches, and guys are going to come in and they're going to make a mint. They're going to make the kind of money, just silly money, for coaching football, and a lot of it is television. Comes from TV money, and when guys are making money like that, people are going to second guess what they do. I'm of the opinion if ADs didn't make as much money as they do right now, they wouldn't get second guessed as much.
Is an AD
But I don't
search-
think they're going to give any of that money back either.
No, is an AD search as fun as a coaching search?
Nah.
No, it's not. Nah. It's not.
Nah.
But the coaching search is over, so we got to have something else.
I think right or wrong, I think ADs are now viewed as de facto general managers.
They are.
Because of all the money that's involved and the fundraising and the paying players. Even though it's apples to oranges, right? An athletics director's job versus like a baseball GM or an NBA GM or an NFL GM, whatever. Those people, though, those GMs are constant targets of scrutiny. The conversation, I'll just use, my team, the Cincinnati Reds, as an example. The conversation around the trade deadline this year it had nothing to do with the team. It was about, we've got to get rid of this general manager. He is incapable of doing the job.
Are they right?
Yes, they're right. The Reds had all these players on expiring contracts.
It's always the small market teams, though, that are having this argument. And that's what Arkansas, whether we like it or not, we're the college football equivalent of a small market Major League Baseball team. It's always those teams that are arguing about their general manager.
That's right. That's exactly right. But I think that's what's happened to ADs now, is that they're seen more like a GM and they're seen as extremely replaceable.
Cardinal fans blame John Mozeliak for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was one of them, just for the record.
Yeah. Is he still there?
No.
You got rid of him?
Yeah, we got Chaim Bloom now.
How's that?
Yeah, it's always
It's better.
I don't know.
Are you winning now?
Nah, not really.
Are you winning now? That's a good point. Like, the problem is not, necessarily the person, although it can be in certain cases, or they don't do everything right. But sometimes changing the person in the seat doesn't change the problem.
No,
or fix the problem.
No, again, I'll use the Reds as an example. The Reds' problem is that the owners are cheap, and that the owners aren't going to spend to field a competitive baseball team. The GM can't do anything about that. Now, I happen to think the GM's not very good either. He can't do anything about it, though, because he doesn't have the money.
What about John Gruden? What about John Gruden? And John Gruden fix it?
No.
He was here. He's at the fountains, guys.
He was also at Oklahoma the next day wearing OU gear, posing for pictures with Barry Switzer. So, I don't think, just for the record, he's going to be the head coach at either place.
Bart's preseason top 25. We'll finally get to it. What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles. But what do you have?
Well, no, I was just going to point out this is a classic case in point. I don't know who this guy is. Somebody texting from the 501.
Who is this?
Nobody here. Yeah, who is this from? Nobody. You unless you are saying Hunter Yurachek should be fired today and make him give all the money back that we've paid him. Unless you say that, it's, he's in love with Hunter. He's taking it. No, I'm not in love with anybody. I've been here a long time. I've been through several of them, and I'll be through some more before it's over. I'm not in love with any of them. But I've been around here enough to know that when you're sitting around arguing about whether or not the athletic director should be fired 2 weeks before the football season starts, you need to play a game. I mean, there needs to be a game. We need to argue about something else. That's not being in love with anybody. It means that the discussion we're having right now is counterproductive.
Arkansas's just added a game to its schedule. They're playing Saturday.
Great.
We have something else
Good.
to talk about. What to Watch brought to you by Macadoodles. Just north of Bella Vista and Guess Who in Bentonville. They got the best customer service. Customer service only matters when you don't get it. But when you get it at a premium level, when you get it more than you expect, you really appreciate it. And now you've seen what it looks like. That's what they want to deliver and strive to deliver every day and every time you're in the store. Free coffee, popcorn, taking you around the store if you need help, carrying things for you, helping you load up. They want to take care of you. They've been doing it for a long time. Competitive pricing, great selection. Today's Wednesday. It's Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store at Macadoodles, even if it's already on sale. And over 25,000 people are now earning loyalty points. That means free stuff and discounts for you. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista and at Guess Who in Bentonville. What are we watching?
Tomorrow, NFL action, NFL preseason action. The Raiders and the Texans at 7 on ESPN. The Niners and the Chargers at 9 on the NFL Network. We're getting there. We're slowly getting to real football.
Look at this. Look at this on the text line.
What's that?
Hi, thanks for texting the show. If you want, we'd love to get your name and where you're texting from so we can ID you when you text in. That's an improvement from who is this from?
Yeah.
Look at our customer service.
Yeah, but I sent that.
Bart. Attaboy.
Customer service, Bart. Chuck and Bo. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Summer in Arkansas means long days outside.
Whether you're headed to the lake, playing 18, or firing up the grill with friends, summer in Arkansas keeps you moving.
And with all those summer activities, you're going to need a beer that keeps up.
And that's where Yuengling Flight comes in. Just 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, brewed for people who like to stay active and still enjoy a great tasting beer.
Make Yuengling Flight part of your summer plan.
Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer.
DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
There's no better place to watch a game than Walk On Sports Bistro. With more than 60 TVs at every location, catch all the summer sports action while you cool off with mouth-watering Louisiana favorites like po' boys and gumbo, plus burgers, ice-cold draft beers, and cocktails made for hot days. Incredible food, outstanding service, and a game day atmosphere that never takes a season off. Visit one of the 5 locations across Arkansas today, including Rogers and Fayetteville. Walk On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Thinking about buying or selling a business? Well, trust the experts at Arkansas Business Brokers, powered by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. Whether you're ready to sell a business you've built from the ground up, or you're looking for the perfect opportunity to become your own boss, Arkansas Business Brokers can guide you through every step of the process. Their experienced team helps make complex transactions simple. Text BUSINESS to 479-306-6139 for a free consultation, or visit arkansasbusinessbrokers.com.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. FSbank.com, member FDIC.
When it comes to a roof or remodel, you want somebody that's going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going to come in on time and on budget. And you might need it right now and can't afford it at this moment. Well, Teamwork has a plan for you. Now offering financing options like 0 down, 0% for 12 months, or low fixed payments over time and no payments for 60 days. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all
want
I wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This football season, it's time to tailgate like you mean it. The 1910 Club is Fayetteville's premier game day destination, just steps from Razorback Stadium, and it's got everything you need already waiting for you. Wi-Fi, power, and real bathrooms, plus a crew that runs the show so you can just show up and have a good time. Get a full season spot or pick the individual games you want. Log on at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com. Ben Blakeman joining us to talk about something they've been doing for 35 years, helping Arkansans with their stories and jewelry.
You know, we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident. We want you to be educated. And we have a larger selection. We have more opportunities, more availability. Some people come in knowing exactly what they want. Some people come in having never been into a jewelry store before. We want both experiences to exceed all expectations.
Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Summer in Arkansas means long days outside.
Whether you're headed to the lake, playing 18, or firing up the grill with friends, summer in Arkansas keeps you moving.
And with all those summer activities, you're going to need a beer that keeps up.
And that's where Yuengling Flight comes in. Just 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, brewed for people who like to stay active and still enjoy a great tasting beer.
Make Yuengling Flight part of your summer plan.
Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer.
DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
By the way, good morning. We just kind of jumped in, and we're
Hey,
coffee deep. And hey, everybody,
Morning, Bart.
welcome in.
Edward.
I smell the bacon cooking. It's going to be a good day.
The Chuck and Bo
We're
Show.
going to talk to Dave Van Horn at the top of the hour, 8:02. Bart's going to do his preseason top 25 after that. Roger Goodell making news. Bart is in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
Yeah, so this is per Front Office Sports, but Roger Goodell basically said that he has no doubts that there will be an NFL team outside the United States, or there will be NFL teams outside the United States at some point in time.
How about that?
Didn't give a timeline on that or anything like that, which I wouldn't expect him to, because I'm not really sure how feasible that is. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me.
I get
that you have a team, like one team outside the United States.
It depends on where they go. I mean, do you go north of the border? Do you go south? Do you go across the pond? Where do you go?
Right. Yeah. Right. If you're putting an NFL team in Canada, that makes a little bit more sense than, say, putting an NFL team in Germany and all the travel and obstacles that come with that.
I bet it's going to be Mexico City.
I get the NFL trying to grow its game and playing games out of the country. I don't get why we're doing it in college football.
I don't understand that either.
Unless you're trying to treat it like some extravagant bowl trip in game one of the season.
They're all trying to copy what the NBA did, but basketball is a unique game. Our American football, they compare it to their football. They don't consider it to be the real thing. Different sports, different marketing plans. What college football is doing, though, I have
they're not
no
gonna
idea.
Start a
I
college
have no idea.
College football team out of the country.
I have no idea.
I don't know why they do that.
Money.
Other than
they're making pretty good money here.
Having good vision enhances every part of your life, and that is why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. They have great doctors and staff that meets all your vision needs. I recently picked up a pair of new sunglasses, and the attention to detail and customer service was on another level. We all have preferences on the look of our shades, but checking out the different lenses helped me land the best pair I've ever had. And Drs. Betts and Mengarelli have helped numerous athletes get their best vision. Go see our friends at McDonald Eye Associates and see the best. The 1910 Club is taking tailgating to another level. It's on Oliver Street, just steps from Razorback Stadium. And every spot comes with Wi-Fi, power hookups, real bathrooms, and a club crew handling all the details so you don't have to. And if you're not ready for a full season, single game spots are available for nearly every home game. Pick your exact spot on the interactive map at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com. Get in the club and tailgate like you mean it.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Macadoodles, customer service is the #1 priority, and it starts at the top with founder Roger Gildehouse.
It starts with the guy running it. If you make customer service your #1 issue, my people, you couldn't find one that wouldn't tell you that what's the most important thing to Roger when we open these doors every day, and they would tell you customer service. We have to take care of the customer.
Macadoodles, prioritizing customers since 1997.
Oh, no, I don't want Lane Kiffin at LSU. I want weird stuff going on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to a roof or remodel, you want somebody that's going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going to come in on time and on budget. And you might need it right now and can't afford it at this moment. Well, Teamwork has a plan for you. Now offering financing options like 0 down, 0% for 12 months, or low fixed payments over time and no payments for 60 days. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality and powered by teamwork.
High school athletics at its best. If you aren't following Varsity Vibe, what are you waiting for? We're your go-to source for the latest information on what's happening around the state and showcasing the players and teams that bring the action to life. Sure, we've got your highlights, scores, and all-access interviews, but we're also keeping you up to date with our newsletter twice a week and our weekly podcast. Subscribe now at varsityvibearkansas.com. Follow us on Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok, and make sure you're in the know. Varsity Vibe Arkansas, we've got it covered.
At First Security Bank, banking isn't one size fits all. It's personal because everyone's financial journey looks a little different. From managing day-to-day spending, to running a small business, to helping your kids learn more smart money habits, or taking that big step toward buying a home. At First Security, you get the services you expect, the technology you need, and the real support of local people who live here, know the community, and take the time to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Life moves fast, and having a bank that moves with you makes a difference. Whether you prefer stopping by a branch, banking on the app, or picking up the phone to talk with someone who actually knows your name, First Security is there. They offer smart tools like mobile banking, bill pay, and mobile check deposit, along with thoughtful solutions like flex banking for kids, checking built for small businesses, and local mortgage lenders who guide you through the home buying process. Choose the power of personal. Bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, the work that they're able to do with them in the sun. It used to be you couldn't stand on a hill a mile away and watch them practice if you're a coach. And now you get like 2 hours a week on-field work, which I think they broke up into like 14 OTAs over the summer. And you get 2 hours of film study with them, in addition to, the time that the strength staff gets to spend with them. So you do have a lot of carryover from spring, summer, and into fall camp. And so, yeah, it does feel like they hit the ground running. I have to be careful sometimes, guys, because when I say, I think they'll be good at this spot. I think they'll be good here. Sometimes when I say that, I just mean I think they'll be average. I love football, and I get excited like anybody else. I mean, I'm probably, depending on how things go, going to be somewhere around 4 wins, give or take. Maybe I go up to 5 if I really like what I see. Maybe I drop it down to 3. But when I say stuff like, I always have to be careful with that because I get excited. But when I say something's going to be good, sometimes I just mean they're going to be average. And I think that they have a roster that is good enough. If they can do those things, penalties, turnovers, special teams, if they can do those things and they have a quarterback that is at least competent, that doesn't just kill them, that they could get to a bowl game. People look at the schedule and say, well, this is the most brutal thing ever, and there's no way that they're going to be. Teams do that kind of stuff. There's things that happen. You look at a team that is what they are right now, what they're projected. You don't know what's going to happen to Auburn. You seen the slate Auburn has before they play Arkansas. Who knows? Shane Beamer could be on the hottest of hot seats. He could be out of there by the time Arkansas plays them, and that's in Fayetteville. There are things that could unfold throughout the course of the season that you just don't expect.
Never miss a moment of the Chuck and Bo Show on demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Watch us on YouTube, Twitter, every weekday, or stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Sorry to disappoint the media, but very rarely do I bring up the media in team meetings about motivation. It's hour 2 of practice. We're not thinking about what the media voted us. Right? Hopefully we all practice pissed off. Right? Hopefully we all want to be great.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're just talking. You're just talking.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Cheats, steals.
It's a real talk show host.
Live from the Warfield Distillery Studios, Idaho's most awarded distillery.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Let it rip.
Let it go.
If you're a Hog fan, be a Hog fan.
Hey, Bo, you're wrong.
Come in at your own risk. Nobody's safe in here.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
All guests join us on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline. Hall of Famer, head coach of the Arkansas Razorback baseball team, approaching 1,000 wins at Arkansas. Dave Van Horn joins us fresh off a contract extension. Coach, congratulations on the news that was delivered this week. And, man, we're looking forward to the future, and I know you are too.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's always exciting when you get to, when you're getting ready for a new year, a lot of new players, and super exciting when you get to, spend your career where you really want to be.
I think that was the one thing, Dave, that I heard from people over the past couple of days is that, well, I guess this means this is where he's going to retire. And is there a sense, when you get a deal like this, maybe not this is necessarily where I'm going to retire, but that your career has kind of gotten that cap here at the end, so to speak.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking to go anywhere else, obviously, now, and I never really was. So I'm glad this is over with, and we can just move on and not think about this type of stuff. Just really trying to stay focused on this year's team with so many things. So many positions are open, pitching in off, and the offensive side. So, but yeah, I would say that, kind of finalizes some things.
Well, it's interesting to me, Dave, that you've really chosen to be here. I mean, there's been opportunities along the way, and it's traditional, and it seems in the coaching world that you use leverage to get a raise or whatever, and it really hasn't felt like that's happened. You've just kind of gone along every year you're just going to be here, and it's not like you've been, making these, well, I could go somewhere else. And for me, it was like, hey, this is nice to see happening for someone that never has really tried to play the leverage game because you've always wanted to be here. So I got to feel like that's, looking from the outside in, at least somewhat gratifying.
Well, I appreciate it. There's been a few things down the road, since 2015, 14, there's been more than a few. And all I ever wanted to do was stay here and coach the Razorbacks. And, so everything was low key. I didn't.
Did we lose him?
I think we did.
I didn't like that. Anyway, it all worked out. And like I said, I'm where I want to be. And, hey, let's go.
It's such a different time now, Coach. If you were talking to somebody that was coming to Arkansas in any sport, football's the latest where we have a new head coach. Just looking at it broadly, having the success that you've had here and navigating the waters that you're in now with the things that are different in college athletics, what would you tell somebody it takes to be successful at Arkansas?
As far as a player or a coach?
A coach.
Okay, so I think at Arkansas, I think that's a tough one. It's tough, but it's not. It's probably just a lot of things I could say. First off, you can't listen to all the outside noise that you can't do this and you can't do that. You got to find a way to either raise money or give yourself an opportunity to at least compete with the upper echelon in this league that are being backed pretty good by a lot of different, just a lot of different ways, obviously financial. If you can do that, you have a chance. If not, it gets tough because you want to get the best players in the country, and they're all represented, and that's pretty much the issue because it drives everything up and up and up. Kids ready to commit, ready to come here, and then the agent wants to get involved one more time, and they use that line that I've used many a time because I've heard it many a time. If you want to get in the game, you got to get to this. And it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. But I would just do the best you can, work as hard as you can, hire the right coaches that are like-minded like you. They have the same goals and aspirations, and, the staff needs to be able to get along, and you figure that out before you hire them. And if you can do that, you got a shot. I think when you're talking about a sport like football, you have to have so much depth. You have to have, I feel like our number ones are always pretty close to as good as the other teams, but it's those 2s and 3s, and that's where you got to get the other players. You got to get that depth. And you look at last year's football team, man, they would play with you offensively with anybody for a while, and defense get a little tired. They wear you down. You just don't have enough people to stop people. And the same in our sport. We've got to have a bullpen. That was a struggle last year for us. We've got to have more depth, and to do that, you have to have some good fans, some good boosters, because it says on paper that we all have the same, but we don't.
Dave, how important is the staff? You've it sounds like your staff got a little bit more money. You were talking about staffs for other sports. How important is that for a head coach?
Well, it's super for a head coach to know that first off, you got to know your coaches and know what they're all about, know what kind of responsibilities you can give them and depend on them to do what they're supposed to do, so we can all work in rhythm, so to speak. And the staff got taken care of last year. Coach Thompson, Coach Hobbs. At the end of the 25 season, we got that done. And then, Bobby had some opportunities to leave and make more money. He's getting paid now at a really good school. And we had to fight for that a little bit this summer. Obviously, he wanted to be here, and then that worked out. We got him that. And then, then I came last, which that's perfect order for me. But the staff is hugely important because there's a lot of trust. They got they got to trust their head coach is going to do the right thing, and head coach got to trust the staff to be able to do their job at the highest level. And I think the players see that. They see if the staff gets along. It's just comfortable. We're human beings. These kids are human beings. They're not robots or machines, and they have feelings, and they see what's going on, and I think it all adds up to winning some games.
Coach, when you have gone, well, let's just go through this period here, the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, however long it's been, but it seems like it's ramped up the last couple of years. What kind of adjustments have you had to make, whether it's going out fundraising yourself or whatever, to just navigate this time we're in to keep the program at the level that you've built it to?
Well, it's been quite a challenge. We knew this was going to happen probably 4 years ago, and we were watching other sports, the two sports that, like basketball and football, and how it was going down there. So we knew it was going to get to baseball, and we didn't see it to this extent. The finances, I mean, it's if you only knew, it's a lot, and it just keeps creeping up, and it can't sustain itself. All we wanted to do is to be able to compete, and if you just give us a shot, we don't have to have as much as everybody else because the numbers are kind of ridiculous, honestly. Some of these other schools have some entities in place already that they're ahead of us. They got ahead of us, and I mean they're getting after it. So we had to go out and raise money. We had to try to figure this out. We have some really good, loyal fans in baseball that want to see us succeed, and they're not in love with all this either. But there's been some companies that have really helped us out to support us, and a lot of individuals have come through in a big way and told us they're going to keep helping as long as our staff's here, I'm here. There's been comments like that to me personally that have meant a lot. So we know kind of what we have going forward a little bit, but we got to keep adding to it. And yeah, it's been really interesting. We just want to coach. We want to coach. We want to recruit. We want to do what we were hired to do. And we have to do a lot more, but so does our administration. They're feeling the same way. They'd like it the way it was, but it's not. So we all have had to make adjustments, different things, and be creative, and it just never stops.
Dave, we talk in this money era about the potential for a shift in the balance of power, more in football and basketball maybe than the other sports. Is there that potential in baseball too because of the era that we're in now?
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time. I mean, it's such a fight right now to recruit against some of the schools in our league. It's our league. It's our league in baseball. In other sports, it's football, basketball, and some baseball. In our league, as far as baseball is, pretty much every school, every university, or at least 10 to 12 of them out of the 16 or whatever, they're all in. 14. I mean, it's.
Is that who you're recruiting against primarily for some guys? Is other SEC schools?
98% of the time,
huh.
It's amazing. And now if we go out east and we're trying to pull a kid across ACC country to come visit us, then it, maybe not so much. But if we stay in this area, and we go everywhere. But we're all at the same events. We see the same really good players, and but yeah, we're recruiting at Southeastern Conference schools, and we're going at it. We're giving it everything we got, and we're getting our share. We might not get that transfer portal kid that everybody wants. They're taking the big money and going other places, and there's some of these universities they're spending now. They're getting it. They got some support, and so we know when it's time for us to move to the next guy, and all the time. And it's not always about getting every time. It's not about getting the guy that demands the most. It's getting the right guy, and you have to do it a few times. It's it's amazing. But we are still fighting to get the best high school kid. That's what we really want first.
I saw you on a podcast with Trey Dare and Peyton Hillis talking about a recruiting story and somebody being in your office, and you told them they just might as well go somewhere else. I mean, can you give us a look at without names, obviously, like some of the situations you find yourself in?
Well, and again, the story I told there was from early in this process, and so as a coach, you have to be patient. But the situation, you've got a player and his parents sitting across from you, and they've already been a couple places, and they've been offered X amount of money, and we knew it, and we weren't going to go there. We were talking about development and the draft, and it was a pitcher, and you need to be with this pitching coach, you need to be with our staff, our pitching staff, and bottom line, the parent just said to me, well, real Southern coach, let's just get down to it. Then I was like, whoa, here we go. What can you get my boy is the way he worded it. And I just looked at Coach Hobbs over to my right, and he gave me the same look that I knew what he was saying. And I just said, well, here's what we can do. And they said, well, we've got bigger offers than that. And I said, well, is it all about money? And I forget the comment, and I just said, well, maybe you ought to just go do that. That was pretty much the end of that visit. So, and he ended up being really good, and I wish we would have had him. But, at the time, we couldn't afford him, and to get the other guys that we were trying to get, and,
it's got to be incredibly difficult you want a really good player, and you're asking yourself, even if you can afford it, how many of these do we do, and what does that do to our clubhouse and our team and the kind of player that we want, and how to navigate figuring out how the money is going to impact the kind of culture you have?
Well, we talk about it all the time as a staff, and then once the guys get here or in the process, we talk about that with the recruits. And, we've gotten some really good players the last few years, and we didn't give them the most. They were fine, believe me. They were good, and it wasn't like it was a huge, huge difference. But it was a good amount, and we got some of those. And they ended up being like Zach Root. He had bigger offers, and he wanted to play here. He wanted development. It paid off for him, didn't it? He ended up being a first rounder. He's going to pitch in the big leagues. He would have had a good career somewhere else for a year and signed, but would he have gotten as much? I doubt it. That's where you make your money, is in the draft. But the money's getting awful high where kids turning down the draft. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about it to the team, first team meeting. And we bring it up. We talk about a lot of stuff, and then 15, 20 minutes in, it's like, here we go. And we just tell them, we don't care how much you're on. If you're not the best player, you're not going to play, and vice versa. And if you don't believe it, just watch and see what happens. And we don't want anything to ruin our clubhouse. And we tell kids they don't need to be talking about it. And we even talk to them and tell them, you're pretty much a professional athlete now. So let's, you're going to have to do things right and do it our way. But the kids we get, they already know that, and that's what they want to do. And they want structure, and they want discipline, and they want to be coached. And, so, yeah, I think we've got that part of it under control, because the locker room can make or break you sometimes, probably most of the time, especially when you play 60-plus games a year. There's too much hanging around each other, and if they don't get along or like each other, despise each other, we got a problem. We're not going to win.
All right, just real quick, Coach. That's great insight to what's happening in college baseball as you move into this fall ball and into next season. A quick summary now that the draft's over and all that, and getting players, figuring out who you're going to have and who went somewhere else to an MLB team or whatever. How do you feel like you ended up?
I think we did pretty good, to be honest with you. Position player-wise, we kept some good high school kids. I really feel good about those kids for the future and helping us this year. As far as bringing in some kids, we kept some kids that I think went under the radar. Example like a Dawson Bryce, turned down some money. I mean, there's other kids I could name off, but I think I don't think people realize, because we got to see it firsthand 2 years ago when he came in and played against us. And then he got hurt last year, and he was tearing it up. He got hurt, or I think he would have signed. And for us to get him, I think that was big. But there's more. And on the pitching side, you know, Malky is a name that jumps out at you that's got a lot of experience. But we have some really good arms that just have to be developed, and they have to make a move. And fall is going to be extremely competitive for us, because we're going to be able to put out there two pretty good teams to scrimmage against each other. We're going to play outside competition, and I think you're going to see a very physical team. We're strong. Even the freshmen are big and strong. We've got some speed, but you know, we have a lot of questions to answer. And then you look at what the big boys, the D1 baseball, the experts are saying. I mean, on paper, they're making it out like LSU and Mississippi State won't lose a game all year. That's how great their rosters are. And they paid for them, and they had kids in the program, and they did what they needed to do, and they've got what they need to get them. And we play both of those schools, and there's more. But it's going to be, I've said it, college baseball, the talent right now in the SEC is amazing, how good the players are.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting fall. I mean, here we go. You got outside competition. That'll be interesting to watch. Coach, listen, we can't thank you enough for the time. It's a great look at it. Congratulations to you. We're happy for you. We're glad you're here and look forward to the future.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, appreciate it. Dave Van Horn, Arkansas baseball coach, 26 wins shy of 1,000 wins here at Arkansas. All guests join us on the Gasano's Pizza Hotline. The Chuck and Bo Show rolls on in a moment. Good morning. Nobody gets you ready for football season quite like the Chuck and Bo Show.
That's right.
Nobody.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good news, your next luxury getaway is only a short drive away. At Oaklawn Hot Springs, stay in a Forbes recommended resort hotel. Unwind at Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa. And make dinner a destination at 2 Forbes recommended restaurants, the Bugler and the Oak Room and Bar. Add a 24/7 smoke-free casino, live entertainment, and all the thrills that make Oaklawn Hot Springs a premier resort destination. Join the fun. Plan your stay at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hog fans, your 5-time SEC champion Razorback soccer team is back in action on Thursday night at 6:30 when they take on number 8 North Carolina. It's a whiteout, and the first 500 fans will receive an Arkansas soccer hat. Come support Coach Hale and the Hogs at Razorback Field. Tickets are just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call 479-575-5151 to secure your tickets today.
In a world full of shortcuts, one whiskey refused. 100% local Idaho barley, aged in Idaho's mountain climate. For complexity you can taste, a spirit that answers to the land and no one else. This is not just whiskey. This is a declaration. Warfield, American single malt whiskey from Idaho's most awarded distillery. Set the standard. Available at select retailers nationwide. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older.
Are you a real estate agent looking for more than just a place to hang your license? Then it's time to discover the difference at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. At Weichert, you'll find industry-leading training, powerful marketing tools, hands-on support, and a team that's invested in your success. Whether you're a brand new agent or a seasoned professional, Weichert gives you the resources you need to grow your business and reach your goals. Ready to learn more? Text CAREER to 479-306-6139. Your next chapter starts here.
Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Summer in Arkansas means long days outside.
Whether you're headed to the lake, playing 18, or firing up the grill with friends, summer in Arkansas keeps you moving.
And with all those summer activities, you're going to need a beer that keeps up.
And that's where Yingling Flight comes in. Just 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, brewed for people who like to stay active and still enjoy a great tasting beer.
Make Yingling Flight part of your summer plan.
Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer.
DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
Who says bigger is always better? Burton Pools and Spas is the area's exclusive dealer for plunge pools by Thursday Pools. In-ground fiberglass pools designed for today's lifestyles with easy maintenance and more time for fun. Cool off after work, relax with family, or host friends for game day. And right now, installed plunge pool packages start under $40,000. Stop by one of Burton Pools and Spas' 5 convenient locations or visit burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life. When it comes to a roof or remodel, you want somebody that's going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going to come in on time and on budget. And you might need it right now and can't afford it at this moment. Well, Teamwork has a plan for you, now offering financing options like 0 down, 0% for 12 months, or low fixed payments over time and no payments for 60 days. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality and powered by Teamwork.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
4:45 in the morning. You know what you're going to do? You're going to hit the snooze button for losers. A snooze button saying, I'm not ready for what today has in store for me. So guess what? We're going to sit there and say, yes, that alarm goes off. I'm hitting the damn ground saying, hell yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
One of the things, many things I appreciate and enjoy about Dave Van Horn is his candidness, and he doesn't hold back much. He does a little, but you get what the truth is of what's really going on, and that was a really good look at it.
When you're not running scared, you don't care what people think about what you said. I mean, when you've got a good team and you're confident in your players and you feel like you've got a chance to beat anybody, you say things like, well, they're acting like LSU's not ever going to lose. You say things like that. I said when I was doing baseball, and I still believe it's true, and I say this with respect to football and basketball coaches I've worked with, I'd learn more in a 5-minute dugout show about the baseball team from Van Horn on a Wednesday afternoon than you'll learn from a football coach all season long. It's just the truth. It's the nature of the game, nature of the business, day-to-dayness of the game. Van Horn's pretty candid. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks.
Without looking at any of the preseason baseball polls, I think I can safely say, based on what he told us, that LSU and Mississippi State are going to be picked way up there.
And I can say, based on what he said, he's ready to play them too.
It did sound like, as soon as he said it, like, let's go play right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what you want.
Let's play. Hey, those guys aren't going to lose a game. Why don't we try them? Why don't we get out there and go?
Yeah, that's fun.
I mean, has there ever been a more perfect guy for Arkansas? Like when you talk about fits and coaches and all that.
Well, he's said many times this is where he's wanted to be. Now, look, he doesn't want to be taken for granted. Nobody likes being taken for granted. And there have been times, I'm just going to say, over the years where I think we've taken Dave Van Horn for granted.
100%.
And that was a mistake on our part. And for all the people ripping the athletic director, and I know that, sometimes I'm not saying Hunter woke up and said, hey, I'm going to give Dave Van Horn a whole lot more money, and I know they probably had differences of opinions at times. I've never known a coach that didn't disagree with his AD a time or two, but Dave's under contract. He's going to retire here, and that's good for us, good for him, good for everybody.
The other thing too, he talked about players that could have gone elsewhere for more money that stayed here. I think 100% you could say that about him. If he was chasing the money, I think he could be one of the top two coaches.
No question.
In terms of salary in college baseball.
He wouldn't be here, but he would have made the move about 10 years ago. He'd probably be at Texas A&M if you want to know the truth. No, he wanted to be here. It's part of the reason Arkansas fans love him. He's proven that you can want to be at Arkansas and you can win. He's done everything that you could ever ask one of your coaches to do, and he's got a middle infielder style about him that fans love, and that's endeared him to our people. And for him to, You know, he came here in 2002, and it's 2026 now, and he's going to coach, I guess, 5 more years and then probably hang it up. So, you know, you can do your math. That's going to be about a 30-year guy by the time it's all said and done. So we've been very lucky in that respect.
Here's the comment he made just a few minutes ago.
And then you look at what the big boys, the D1 baseball, the experts are saying. I mean, on paper, they're making it out like LSU and Mississippi State won't lose a game all year. That's how great their rosters are. And they paid for them, and they had kids in the program, and they did what they needed to do, and they've got what they need to get them.
Let's go play.
Let's go get them.
Let's go play.
We'll see you next spring.
Looking forward to it. Hey, speaking of playing, if you love to play before and after the game, have a great time. You can never lose a tailgate, even if the game doesn't go your way. They're making that possible at the 1910 Club. It's on Oliver Street, just steps away from Razorback Stadium, over on the west side of the stadium. Every spot comes with Wi-Fi, power hookups, real bathrooms, and a club crew handling the details so you don't have to. It's a club atmosphere. It's a fun atmosphere, and it makes tailgating easy for you. Go to the 1910club.com website and pick your tailgate spot today. It could be a single game, could be multiple single games, could be a season spot you're looking for. It is what you've always wanted in tailgating, and is right next to Razorback Stadium. The 1910club.com. The 1910club.com. Tailgate like you mean it. All right, the much anticipated Bart Pullman actual preseason top 25.
Can't wait.
So you know what the season's going to look like. The predicted kind of how it will finish. It's a preseason prediction on who will be the top 25 teams at the end of the year. Other people are other people, but he's Bart, and he's next. We're just over here preaching the Razorback gospel today. We're going to pass the plate around right after we're done.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you or a loved one struggling with addiction? There is hope. John 3:16 Ministries is a free, faith-based 501c3 program that has helped more than 3,000 people transform their lives over the past 23 years. This long-term inpatient program includes lodging, counseling, medical care, and job training, all at no cost to you. In a period of 6 months to a year, you could graduate with a trade, a purpose, and a fresh start. A spiritual boot camp for men and a safe refuge for women. Log into john316thecure.com.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's a place that pulses with possibility when you step through the door, where 1 second could change everything. That place is Oaklawn Hot Springs, home to a 24/7 smoke-free casino with more than 1,400 slots, over 30 table games, an exclusive high-limits area and sportsbook. And when you join Oaklawn Rewards, every play can earn points, comps, free play, and exclusive promotions, with new chances to win big every month. Join the fun. Plan your trip at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com.
Experience football game days on the Hill this fall as head coach Ryan Silverfield leads the Hogs into 2026. Great home matchups line the 7-game slate in Fayetteville, including kickoff in Arkansas on September 5th, the SEC home opener versus the Georgia Bulldogs on September 19th, and a Thanksgiving weekend rivalry battle with the LSU Tigers. Season tickets start at just $300 and are available now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
The 1910 Club is taking tailgating to another level. It's on Oliver Street, just steps from Razorback Stadium. And every spot comes with Wi-Fi, power hookups, real bathrooms, and a club crew handling all the details so you don't have to. And if you're not ready for a full season, single game spots are available for nearly every home game. Pick your exact spot on the interactive map at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com. Get in the club and tailgate like you mean it.
Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I think you will see this team this year play hard, play smart, give themselves a chance to win. I'm not naive, and I don't think there's going to be, they're not going to run the table, and there's probably going to be a game or two in there you lose, you think you ought to win, and hopefully there's some games in there that nobody thinks you're going to win now that you find a way to win. But my sense, from being around these guys, just the minimal amount of time that they've been here and the minimal amount of time I've been around them, we're going to know this team's been coached. I expect to see the turnovers reduced, and I expect to see the penalties go down. And I don't think the secondary is going to get beat quite as bad as maybe the secondary got beat last year. Some of that's contingent upon putting pressure on the quarterback. So I think those areas, even though none of them are like, maybe by themselves aren't enough to, change their fortunes, if all three of those things happen, I do think they're going to be better.
That's what you want in year one of a new regime. You want to feel like that you have taken a step to change things and to fix things and to be competitive in a way that you weren't previously. To me, that's the whole reason you make a change.
Last year was just like so bad.
For so long.
And it went from bad to worse. I mean,
just like
and by
season,
the end of it, nobody was a hold of the rope.
It was over by like 4 games, 5 games into the season.
Well, when they lost at Memphis, it was over. And in retrospect. But one thing I do not think you'll see this year, I don't think you'll see this team, as the old saying goes, let go of the rope, which did happen last year. And that I don't think will happen this season. I will be very surprised if that happens. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park, with full replays available on YouTube and Twitter, or catch up on all 3 hours with a podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search The Chuck and Bo Show.
Tell you one thing, but listen, what a great show the best sports show in the state is, no doubt, the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The much-anticipated moment has arrived. Watch all the games at Walk-Ons, 60 televisions or more at every location. They got Flight by Yuengling on draft. Ask about it. It's 95 calories, but it tastes like a Yuengling. Flight by Yuengling's the next generation of light beer. Everybody's been wanting to know, well, what's Bart think? I mean, that's what they're wondering every day.
I get asked that every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
What's Bart think?
What's Bart really
and
like?
so the AP Top 25 came out. Yeah. What do you really think about
Bart?
Bart?
Really like that every day?
How is it, does Bart really? I mean, is he ever happy? Does he? Does he ever think there's a moment
happy
where?
But I do get asked a lot.
The world is good.
What does Bart have to say?
But yesterday the Top 25 came out, AP poll, or the day before, and Arkansas is tied with Kentucky for the toughest schedule in terms of how many ranked teams they play, with 7. And we got to talking about it a little bit yesterday, and Bart immediately trashed the very credible writers all over the country. Very credible writers that always just nail their preseason top 25.
Morons.
So we decided that we would have Bart do one, and then when we get to the end of the season, we'll go back and review this. So Edward will keep track of that. Edward will write down the date that we're going to do that.
Edward is the
receipt. Put a graphic together or something. And easy to review.
So, having said that, Bart Pullman, would you please, would you mind?
Yeah.
Would you mind delivering to us what we've been waiting for all day?
Yeah. So this is how I think the final rankings are going to
Chevy
shake out.
of Fayetteville
Okay,
situation.
this is not necessarily how good I think a team necessarily is. It's just how the final rankings are going to shake out. Number 1, Georgia. I'm zagging in a big way from the coaches poll and the AP poll. I think Georgia is right among the best teams in the country. I think they'll have the resume to be the number 1 team at the end of the season. I don't think it will be.
They're going to win it all. You're saying Georgia's going to win
I'm saying they're
going
to be the number 1 seed in the college football playoff.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's quite a statement.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Number 2, I have Notre Dame. I
course you do.
think Notre Dame is the best team in the country. I think they will win the national championship this
But he
year.
has them too.
Yeah, he's got him number 2.
Well, again, like you have to understand how rankings work, right? Like Notre Dame could go undefeated and
So
still
they're going to be
ranked
the
number
2 seed and win the national championship.
Yes.
Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, that's insane.
They could go undefeated and be ranked behind a 1-loss Georgia team. Like we see that stuff happen all the time. That's the exercise.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, Oregon.
Chuck, that's the exercise, man.
Oregon, number 3. Not Ohio State, Oregon, number 3. Texas, number 4. Ohio State, number 5.
Wow.
So that's the top 5 right there.
OHIO.
So there's 2 SEC teams, 2 Big Ten teams in Bart's top 5, and Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame.
Number 6, Indiana. 7, Miami. 8, Alabama.
You're bullish on
Roll
the Tide.
Tide.
Bullish on the Tide.
Why do you like Alabama so much? I don't need a long explanation,
Yeah.
just real quick.
I think Kalen DeBoer's had a couple years in the job now. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's going to kind of start finding his groove there.
Okay.
We know he's a winner. I think Alabama's going to have a big year.
Winner.
Kalen
DeBoer. Winner.
Number 9, LSU. 10, Texas A&M.
Wow.
Texas A&M at number 10. Number 11, Texas Tech. Somebody from the Big 12 is going to be in the top 12. I'm going with Texas Tech, even with an unproven quarterback.
And you've got them 11th with an unproven quarterback?
Yeah, well, I mean,
look at
look,
their schedule, Chuck.
Their schedule's
I
weak.
told you.
Is that it?
Their schedule's weak.
Okay, all
They
right. They don't play anybody.
They do
don't
have.
play
They
anybody.
do have the strongest roster in the Big 12.
They do.
They have
Based
the
on
strongest
what?
roster.
Based on what?
Just based on returning
Is
production.
that what Phil Steele said?
No, based on returning production and what they've done in the portal.
He doesn't have to name all of his research.
Okay, go ahead.
Number
I'm
12.
sorry.
Number 12, Ole Miss.
Pete
Ole Miss.
Golding.
Ole Miss
Pete
at 12.
Golding.
13. I do not think this team is anywhere close to being the 13th best team in the country, but I think they'll be there. BYU. BYU. BYU.
14, Clemson.
14,
Oklahoma.
Michigan. 14.
Michigan.
Yeah. 15, SMU, and our good friend Rhett Lashley. I think SMU is going to have a really good year. 16, the Utes of Utah.
Wow, he's so high.
You're
Again, teams have to win games in the Big 12.
How bad are they going to beat Arkansas, Bart?
I do think Utah will win. I do think Utah will win.
You said that
game.
about 1,000 times.
Number 17, Oklahoma. The Sooner. That's a big departure.
You're
for
throwing
the
them a bone.
polls.
You're throwing them a bone, though, because you said they could just as easily
Somebody's
go 7
to be
and
ranked.
5.
Somebody's got to be ranked.
I got you.
18, another team I don't believe in, USC. We've started the teams I don't believe in run, who I think will still be ranked in the end.
Do you still think Oklahoma will finish 17th in the country?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right. I was just making sure that
Well,
I was.
I mean, if they go,
they're going to win 8 or 9 games.
Yeah, if they go 8-4, I think they'll be 17.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
I
was
don't
just
know
checking.
about
I said 18 USC, 19 Iowa.
Iowa.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win 8 or 9 games and be right there. They're not gonna be the 19th best team in the country.
You hate them, though, don't
but
you?
they're just not gonna be as good as their record
know
indicates.
who they are.
Yeah, they're gonna win 8 or 9 games. It's gonna be boring to watch. They're gonna be ranked.
And they'll be just right there again, picking up bowl gifts somewhere.
Now this is where we get into the point where I'm going to have
Tackling and
teams
blocking.
that were not
right.
in the poll.
Exactly right.
These are going to be teams that where I vary wildly from the actual voters.
Okay.
20, I have South Carolina.
Okay.
You're big on Kendall Bryles.
21, I have Florida. I think the Gators find a way to win 8 games this year and end up ranked.
Are you going to put Auburn next?
22, Wisconsin. I think the Badgers bounce back under Luke Fickell. They finally got some money and have a roster there.
That's so exciting.
23, Pitt.
The Panthers.
The Panthers of Pitt. Pat Narduzzi.
Know who they are.
They're always kind of just sniffing around the top 25. Number 24, and this is the Group of 5 representative in the playoff. The Midshipmen of Navy.
Yes.
The United States Naval
Is
Academy.
that the first mascot he's mentioned?
It might be.
I don't think he's mentioned a mascot until now. He didn't even go with the Badgers of Wisconsin.
He's just been talking about coaches.
The midshipmen.
It's all about that.
I think they're going to
It's
have a
all
really
about
good
the
year.
head coach.
Easy schedule. Best team at Navy in a long time.
Navy's in the playoff.
I think they're going to go probably like 11-1 and make the college football playoff.
ESPN will lose their minds if Navy's in the playoff.
Yes, they will.
I will. For the college football playoff show, I'll be sent to the Navy.
to the actual Navy.
to do
Bo has
something.
to enlist.
He's going to be out on an aircraft carrier.
And number 25, a team that I don't think is getting enough respect this
here we go.
preseason, that had a really good year last year, and I actually think can sustain
Clemson,
it.
isn't it?
No, but it is an ACC team. It's Virginia.
Ooh, James Franklin.
Virginia. Tony Elliott.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's at Virginia Tech,
they had a
Who's
really
their
good
quarterback
year
now
last year.
that Chandler Morris
Morris.
is Chandler Morris back for a 9th year?
No, he didn't get it.
He did, yeah. Chandler Morris
They turned
didn't
him
get
down
it.
for the 9th year?
Yeah. So Virginia in finishing up in the top 25.
Noticeably absent from your poll. Tennessee, Missouri, Penn State.
I'm not buying Penn State yet. I need to see it for real. Like I don't. People are way too high on
Matt
them.
Campbell.
I think Matt Campbell's a good coach. I don't believe
Is it
that
the
they
cocaine ring that got you like what,
all the
what
frat
happened?
boys?
Well,
What did that guy call himself?
Pablo Plechkabar.
God. That guy was an idiot, man. He was a
see
moron.
his picture?
Yes. He was a moron.
So I'm just
How
not.
many SEC teams are we talking about
I
here?
was told. What
A
other
lot
conference
of- a lot
games
of-
is it correct?
A lot of
1, 2,
Iowa State
3,
players
4, 5,
following Matt
6,
Campbell to Penn State, but Iowa State
7,
wasn't anything
8,
special last year,
9.
and you're taking those guys and going into a tougher conference. I'm not buying it yet. I think Matt Campbell will do fine at Penn State. I don't think it's happening this year.
You notice
9 of 25.
Missouri,
9
by the
of
way,
25
Missouri,
from the SEC.
Missouri, stinky Missouri. I don't
Stinky.
I don't think so with them this year.
As opposed to
notice how Bart
fragrant
comes
South
alive.
Carolina.
Well, you ask Bart a question and you frame him as the expert.
Oh, he's like,
I mean, it is just turn on the air compressor and inflate the inner tube. I mean, it just becomes like you turn into like Pat McAfee.
Bart's presentation
well,
is so good. It's
so
almost
good.
like he knows what he's talking about. It really is incredible.
That's the entire battle. That's the entire battle.
I mean,
right
I'm gonna ask you a question, Bart. So you every day, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. So Bart puts together, things that we don't pay much, we should pay attention to, and sometimes in a pinch we do. But I'm just showing you pages and pages of notes here, and the frustration, and much to his credit, is Bart continues to do it. Even though Chuck and I may not pay attention.
Look at all the notes.
But
look at all the notes
look,
I made.
Look at Chuck and I. We both wrote, I wrote down, and I think you did
Yeah,
too.
wrote
Every
them
single team he rattled off
Right there.
on the top 25.
I'm going to keep it.
I made
we
printed-
are eating
printed
out of
copies
your
for you
hands.
guys.
Oh, you made
I
printed
made
copies?
printed copies for you
Gosh
guys.
dang, I wish you'd have told us.
Did you
We
make
wouldn't
one
have
for
to write them all
Edward?
down.
He's the one that posted everywhere. Yeah, if you said that, I wouldn't have written everything down.
Bart's built like Teamwork Roofing and Construction can do your remodel or roof. Dependable, on time, and definitely on budget. That's Bart. Teamworkbuilt.com. Hey, if you need a loan to get it done now, you can pay for it later. They help you with 0 down, 0% financing too. Teamworkbuilt.com is the website, built on quality, powered by Teamwork. Derek, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
How about them hogs, gentlemen?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to jamesboyett.com. Ben Blakeman joining us to talk about something they've been doing for 35 years, helping Arkansans with their stories and jewelry.
You know, we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident. We want you to be educated. And we have a larger selection. We have more opportunities, more availability. Some people come in knowing exactly what they want. Some people come in having never been into a jewelry store before. We want both experiences to exceed all expectations.
Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. This football season, it's time to tailgate like you mean it. The 1910 Club is Fayetteville's premier game day destination, just steps from Razorback Stadium, and it's got everything you need already waiting for you. Wi-Fi, power, and real bathrooms, plus a crew that runs the show so you can just show up and have a good time. Get a full season spot or pick the individual games you want. Log on at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com. Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com.
You know, see, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. Ben Blakeman joining us to talk about something they've been doing for 35 years, helping Arkansans with their stories and jewelry.
You know, we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident. We want you to be educated. And we have a larger selection. We have more opportunities, more availability. Some people come in knowing exactly what they want. Some people come in having never been into a jewelry store before. We want both experiences to exceed all expectations.
Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. The 1910 Club is taking tailgating to another level. It's on Oliver Street, just steps from Razorback Stadium. And every spot comes with Wi-Fi, power hookups, real bathrooms, and a club crew handling all the details so you don't have to. And if you're not ready for a full season, single game spots are available for nearly every home game. Pick your exact spot on the interactive map at the1910club.com. That's the1910club.com. Get in the club and tailgate like you mean it.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today. Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
Bart's over there fact-checking. Kind of ruined.
Just ruined the whole day for me. Has everything I've said on this show been fact-checked?
This would not have happened. This would not have happened.
Have you gone home and fact-checked everything I've said?
No.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
At the end of the day, Chuck, we look at everything on this show from an Arkansas perspective. At some point, we get to the Arkansas lens, right? And I'm looking at Bart's top 25 preseason. He thinks this is how it'll finish. So he's predicting the order of finish. He's got no Tennessee in the top 25. He's got no Vanderbilt in the top 25. Immediately becomes winnable games. He's got no Auburn
those games
in the top 25.
Is that part of the reason they're not ranked? Is because Arkansas is beating them?
I wouldn't go that far. I think you know, in the case of Tennessee, they've got some quarterback questions. They're going to start.
You got no Missouri in there.
Yeah. Well,
stinky.
Stinky was of those 7 games where Arkansas was playing like top 25 teams. I mean, the schedule just got a little bit better based on Bart. That's why he's here.
Utah, A&M, LSU. Texas, Georgia. Five ranked teams as opposed to 7.
I am surprised at Oklahoma being ranked where they are after the way you gutted them yesterday. You said, I just don't think they're going to be very good. And then today you got them 17th in the country. I mean, that's
well. What I think about Oklahoma is I don't think they're going to live up to the expectation.
They're not a playoff team. They're not a
I don't think they're going to.
They're
going to
get their hearts broken. Their fans they're going to be mad.
They're going to have a couple of like just crippling
outside
turnovers,
looking
in games this year that are going to cost them.
We conduct the Chuck and Bo Show every day from the Warfield Distillery Studios. Single malt whiskey that starts with 100% local Idaho barley distilled through Scottish copper pot stills and aged in Idaho's mountain climate, where the elevation and the temperature swings create a depth of flavor you won't find anywhere else. Now Arkansas owned. Log on to drinkwarfield.com and find it near you. Drinkwarfield.com. Now in Arkansas. Today is National Soft Serve Day. Today's also, yeah, it's so good.
It's the best.
National Potato Day. You like a baked potato, mashed potatoes, sweet potato,
French fries,
French fried potatoes,
potato chips, potato chips.
Yeah, they're okay too.
What are your favorite potato chips? Do you have a favorite?
Nah, I really don't.
Like salt and vinegar, regular Lay's.
I would say
Ruffles.
salt and vinegar if you made me pick.
National Aviation Day. Anybody want to take up flying?
No, I'm good.
All right, have a great Wednesday. Having good vision enhances every part of your life, and that is why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. They have great doctors and staff that meets all your vision needs. I recently picked up a pair of new sunglasses, and the attention to